Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section. She call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I let gang, back again.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, is somebody hurt? Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with Shade.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shade. Shade's tube. She back again.
It's late night with Shade.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. Now you thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shade.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shade's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Happy and blessed Friday/Saturday to you guys. Happy 4th of July. I hope you guys had a great holiday. I definitely did. I hope you guys saw some fireworks, ate some good food, saw your family, and just had a really, really fab time. I definitely had all of that above, and I enjoyed my 4th of July. All right? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Welcome to everybody in the bushes. Welcome to everybody who watches this in the replay over here in the chat. Why do I have this up here? Oh, over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. What's up, Jermaine? Jermaine said, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Support VIA Super Chats, Super Stickers, Cash App at $ShadesTube, or copy yourself a membership for $4.99. We definitely appreciate the real ones. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and do that copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That copyright disclaimer is right there scrolling across my screen. It's also in my description area, and it will be in my comment area as soon as I can get it there. All right. Thank you again, guys, for watching and for showing me some love. All right. Let me go over here and take this down real quick, y'all. We got a good show in store for you guys today. Let me turn this down a little bit. Let's turn it down to 15. We're going to be talking about the male escort that Diddy and Cassie and Jane Doe or whatever hired. He still states some allegations. He still is making allegations about Cassie. Also, we're going to talk about that Mann Act again, because we are trying to figure out what's going on with that, because the statute of limitation is only 5 years. Okay. Then we're going to be talking about Cassie, sorry, about T.I., Tiny, and his son being accused of a crime, all right, or crimes, okay? So we're going to talk about that too. So go get you something to drink, a relaxing seat bed. You know, if you need some food, get that too. And if you are at work, continue to, if you are at work, listen or watch me on the download, but make sure you do your job. And because I don't want y'all to get caught, like I always say every single day going time I do a live, but definitely check me out if you can. And thank you guys so much. All right. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and do the other thing up real quick. Let me change this first because I got the wrong thumbnail up. I got the reaction one up. I'm supposed to have this one up. All right. So again, y'all, don't forget the thumbs up. All right. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. Make sure you share and leave a comment. All right. Thanks to Jermaine for this fab background. Let me show y'all what it looks like. So thank you, Jermaine, for that. This Jermaine be jamming with all these backgrounds and thumbnails and all of this stuff, man. That's who does these. Thank you so much, Jermaine, for doing all of that hard work that you do. Okay. Plus, he helped me with my content as well, helping me research things and all of that stuff. So I appreciate you, Jermaine. You are one of the best mods here on YouTube. For real. And I ain't just saying that. You know what I'm saying? Some people just say that and I don't see shit their mind is doing. You know what I'm saying? They just be, I don't know what they be talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole different damn story. All right. Y'all know this is Fuccery Friday/Saturday. So we got some fuckery news and we got some fuckery stuff all the way around town. You know what I'm saying? Why is this StreamYard.com saying, hey, this right up here? That is weird. This is the first time I've seen this up here like that. But anyway, let me take this down real quick, y'all. This banner, not this banner, but this comment. Let's remove that. All right. And let me I think I got the floating thing up there already. All right. So let's go ahead and get started off with this day on live. I got my water. I got my vitamin. All of this shit sitting right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? My phone with the notes on it and everything. Let me let y'all. Well, I don't know. I'm about to do it the other way. I was trying to download my background music, but couldn't get it. I didn't have enough time to do it. That's why I'm kind of late because I was trying to get in here a long time ago, but I was trying to do that and I still couldn't do it the right way. So over the weekend, I'll try to figure that out so I can have that playing in the background. Because what I'm trying to do, we're trying to do different background music versus what we hear right now. And so that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully over the weekend, I'll be able to put that up there successfully so we can start hearing a little different music that Jermaine or either myself mix up. All right. All right. So anyway, I guess we need to start off with the male escort stuff first because T.I. them shit is a lot. All right. It is a lot. It's just like Diddy's almost. Okay. Then you got Jared, Leto. I mean, all these people doing all these actual crimes and shit. That's what I was trying to tell you guys the other day. It's not just Diddy. So when y'all be going in on Diddy, you need to go check out all these other celebs who have similar charges or the same charges. You guys need to go off on them too because it's not right. Y'all attacking Diddy, but y'all ain't attacking these other people and they got charges or, or they're pending or they got allegations. Okay. Diddy is not the only one in Tinseltown doing weird shit and got allegations. There's a whole lot of people. Okay. And I talked about a lot of them, but it's some that I didn't even talk about. All right. So we will touch on that one tonight as well for the fuckery side of this channel. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you are having a good night, you guys. I'm definitely let me start off first telling you guys that the guy from Nip Tuck, Julian, the really fine white dude, and him and the other dude, they were plastic surgeons. I used to watch that show all the time. As a matter of fact, I was watching it on Tubi, the replays and stuff, and it's still good. Well, anyway, y'all, unfortunately, he passed on. And that is sad. He was only 56 years old. I did not know that this dude had cancer. Let me put his name up here on TikTok. Let me let y'all see what I'm talking about, okay? Hold on. That's sad, man. Let me do it real quick. This was my dude, man, on Nip Tuck. I'm not gonna lie. Gosh. Guys, I love me him. His name on there was hold wasn't that Chris, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, look, he was looking different right there. I didn't even know, I mean, from what he was looking like down here. When he was on Nip Tuck, y'all can see him right there. That's when he was on Nip Tuck right there. That's him right there, man. Damn, that's Kimber. That show used to be the show, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Man, I used to love watching Nip Tuck. You know what I'm saying? I used to go and watch it. I mean, I used to get home to go watch that show. I'm not gonna lie. Nip Tuck, Desperate Housewives. What else? Desperate Housewives. I used to love Desperate Housewives because, like, when I watched that show, it made me like like basically fantasize that I always wanted to be in a neighborhood like that. Even though it ended up that they were a hot ass mess, but just the neighborhood itself. And actually out here, we got a chance to look at the actual neighborhood. Obviously they changed everything around, but it just, just like when you watch shows like that, it just puts you in another, it just puts you in another, just make you think that this is possible. And it also takes you away from day-to-day bull crap when you watch these type of shows and stuff. So I used to love Desperate Housewife. Then Nip Tuck, man. Nip Tuck was the show, man. And I was just like, damn, he passed. And I didn't even know he had cancer. So let me show y'all who I'm talking about. Okay, let me put this up here first. That's a damn shame. It really is. A lot of people are leaving at young ages. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, you're here today, gone tomorrow. That's why you better live your life to the fullest, I'm telling you, because you just never know, man. You better take care of yourself too. Because my friend off of TikTok, J-Rock, he passed as well from a heart attack. And when you look at him, he was in shape and everything, but I think he did have a heart attack some years ago and stuff. So you just never know. You got to take care of yourself. Put that daggone weed down, the alcohol down, the drugs, all that stuff down, because that shit is unaliving people, and bad foods and cigarettes and just stress, and people. So it's just a shame. You better live every day like it's your last, and you better take care of yourself to the best of your capabilities, because you just never know. Now let me show y'all who I'm talking about in case y'all don't know. So hold on, I didn't even think. Hold on, y'all. My ass is a dodo bird. I forgot the damn. I be acting like I be drinking, okay? All right, here we go, right here, man. Hold on.
Is half a millimeter higher than your left. You can probably fix that.
Julian McMahon, the Australian-American actor, best known for his roles in Nip Tuck, Charmed, and the Fantastic Four films, has died at the age of 56. According to multiple reputable sources, McMahon passed away peacefully in Clearwater, Florida, following a private battle with cancer. His family confirmed that he had been quietly fighting the illness for some time and chose to keep his diagnosis out of the public eye. McMahon, the son of former Australian Prime Minister Sir William McMahon, rose to international fame in the early 2000s for his portrayal of the charismatic plastic surgeon Dr. Christian Troy in the FX drama Nip Tuck. He later starred as FBI agent Jess LaCroix in the CBS series FBI Most Wanted. Fans and colleagues across the globe have begun paying tribute to the late actor, remembering him for both his talent and his professionalism on and off screen. Funeral arrangements have not yet been publicly announced.
That's sad. Well, rest in peace to him and for him. And my condolences are expressed out to his family members, to his friends, and to his fans, including myself, because I love me some Julian. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to call him his Nip Tuck character. He was a good actor, though. I mean, that was a good ass show. So convincing and everything. So he definitely will be missed. All right. That's a sad situation, you guys. So anyway, now let's go ahead and move on to Diddy Freakoff Escort, Clayton Howard. He continues to launch allegations against Cassie. Let me see if I can pull him up on TikTok first, okay? Damn, he was only 56 years old, y'all. He wasn't even that old. That's sad. That cancer, man. Gosh. And then he was looking different too. You know, the cancer was, he was still trying to keep himself up, though, you could tell. That's sad, man. And he was doing it. He didn't tell nobody either, really. You know, honestly, that's the way I would do it too. Let's see. Let's put in Cassie. Let's see what they say. So here, oh my God, I want to hit. He probably gonna be a hot ass, juicy mess. Let's listen to him tell us about it. No, let's do this. I want to get something body a little bit more. Well, actually, he may be a little bit more comical. Let's watch him.
Trigger warning. This is going to bust the P. Diddy case wide open.
Let's see
Once
this.
again, trigger warning. This is going to be about a 7 to 8 minute video. Y'all know I don't even do stuff this long, but I got the footage, and y'all got to watch this.
Let's
Sit
see
down, go get you a snack, and watch what I got here. Video included.
Okay.
I am Dave, the man who has just sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media, and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult me. This is my story. I was paid by Cassie, Cassandra Ventura, for 8 years to be her male provider. I didn't have to be the best looking guy. I was the best in bed. And because I was the best in bed, guess what? I was given this arrangement. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy. Now, at the time, legally, I didn't know my rights as well as I do now. I didn't create this conflict with Cassandra Ventura. She created it with me. She's the one who decided to bring up things that happened over 10 to 15 years ago to hold Sean Combs accountable for what was a partial truth. She's the person who introduced me to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She's the person who told the U.S. Attorney's Office about our relationship. So in essence, those out there who want to hate on me, who want to say that I'm attacking Cassie, you should realize the truth, that Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did this to herself. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on a course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset, people. She should have never gotten on the stand and created further liability for herself by telling more of the lie that she created to get this man sent to prison for his life. She made a mistake when she got on the stand, people. She made a mistake when she got on the stand and lied about the events with Clayton Howard. Clayton Howard is a victim of Cassandra Ventura. Clayton Howard didn't ask to be in a relationship with Cassandra Ventura while she was sleeping with numerous men per week. I get it. You all think I was a nasty male prostitute sleeping with women, all different women all the time. It actually didn't work like that. To have certain types of people that can pay you that well, what you really have to do is you have to focus on people who are affluent. And affluent people don't engage in activities like that. So I might have had a client once a month. The truth is I was only a male escort for 2 years. I continued in the profession because Cassie and Diddy continued to pay me very well. And I was an ex-con. I needed money. Yes, I was trapped in the situation. I'll admit that. I didn't know what to do. But does that mean I should be victim shamed? Because the same thing that happened to women all the time happened to me as a man? No. And for those women out there, for you black women who choose to shame me as a black man for telling my truth, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's probably pretty much all I have to say. You will not see me too much in the media. I don't need the public to believe me. I just need a jury of my peers and 12 people to believe me in the court. And thanks to the testimony of Cassie during the trial of Sean Combs, I have that. Thank you for watching. Stop victim shaming. Thank you.
This has been speculated since the beginning of this case. And I didn't even want to make this video like I made all the other ones because I didn't want to make a joke out of it. This thing is going to come tumbling down before Diddy even goes on October 3rd to get his sentencing. It sounds like it's going to be a lot more people that's coming forward. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what y'all think. This is not a video where I just try to kick jokes and stuff, because now the truth that all of us were trying to say from the beginning of how just this something didn't seem right, something was off, this is it now. Go in the comments and tell me what y'all think, y'all. I'm just a messenger. Trigger warning.
Damn, dog. This is crazy. People are, wow. Yeah, I only think she's a victim of DV2. That's it. I mean, let's see what other people are saying. That is a hot ass mess. Let me look at this.
People, they don't need to lie about Cassie to get a conviction against this guy. He's guilty anyway. So I'm not going to help them lie for Cassie to make this lie look better. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to speak about what she actually did to me, and people, I'm about to go public.
Wait a minute, what did he just say? Hold on. He said he did not have to make up a lie about what? Diddy? He said Diddy is guilty too? Okay, let me replay that again. Damn. So you can't say he taking up for Diddy because he said they both. Damn. Hold on, let me rewind this again. Look.
People, they don't need to lie about Cassie to get a conviction against this guy. He's guilty anyway.
Oh,
so I'm not going to help them lie for Cassie to make this lie look better. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to speak about what she actually did to me, and people, I'm about to go public, because the truth is that the jury and the prosecution and the people deserve to know the truth about Cassie. This should not be held. This should not be hidden. It should not be buried. So she's allowed to use an excuse that Diddy made me do it. When there's a man who sat in a room with her 8 years that can say, no, he did things to her, but he didn't do that. People, I'm not for Diddy. I'm fucking not for Diddy. And when you read this book, you'll realize there's no way I'm for Diddy. People, I'm telling them everything that he did, but I'm also telling them what Cassie did. Because a true man of truth tells the truth. He doesn't favor one side or the other.
Damn. Let's see what else they saying right here.
Did this Diddy lawsuit just open up a can of I'm a sewer? So now Clayton Howard has the lawsuit against Cassie.
We're not watching. Why do they be putting them synthesize whatever that shit is on their voice? Let me see what he's saying right here.
So good morning. I am Dave, the man who has just sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media, and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult me. This is my story. I was paid by Cassie, Cassandra Ventura, for 8 years to be her male provider. I didn't have to be the best looking guy. I was the best in bed. And because I was the best in bed, guess what? I was given this arrangement. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy. Now, at the time, legally, I didn't know my rights as well as I do now. I didn't create this conflict with Cassandra Ventura. She created it with me. She's the one who decided to bring up things that happened over 10 to 15 years ago to hold Sean Combs accountable for what was a partial truth. She's the person who introduced me to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She's the person who told the U.S. Attorney's Office about our relationship. So in essence, those out there who want to hate on me, who want to say that I'm attacking Cassie, you should realize the truth, that Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did this to herself. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on the course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset, people. She should have never gotten on the stand and created further liability for herself by telling more of the lie that she created to get this man sent to prison for his life.
Ooh.
She made a mistake when she got on the stand, people. She made a mistake when she got on the stand and lied about the events with Clayton Howard. Clayton Howard is a victim of Cassandra Ventura. Clayton Howard didn't ask to be in a relationship with Cassandra Ventura while she was sleeping with numerous men per week. I get it. You all think I was a nasty male prostitute sleeping with women all different ways all the time. It actually didn't work like that. To have certain types of people that can pay you that well, what you really have to do is you have to focus on people who are affluent. And affluent people don't engage in activities like that. So I might have had a client once a month. The truth is I was only a male escort for 2 years. I continued in the profession because Cassie and Diddy continued to pay me very well. And I was an ex-con. I needed money. I was trapped in a situation. I'll admit that. I didn't know what to do. But does that mean I should be victim shamed because the same thing that happened to women all the time happened to me as a man? No. And for those women out there, for you black women who choose to shame me as a black man for telling my truth, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's probably pretty much all I have to say. You will not see me too much in the media. I don't need the public to believe me. I just need a jury of my peers and 12 people to believe me in the court. And thanks to the testimony of Cassie during the trial of Sean Combs, I have that. Thank you for watching. Stop victim shaming.
Damn.
Thank you.
So this is the dude. Hold on. This is the dude Cassie was talking about. This is the one who said that Cassie gave him an STD and actually assaulted him and manipulated him and aborted his child without his knowledge. You know what? If he has any evidence, proof, this is going to be a hot ass mess. Now he's talking. Is this okay? We already saw that one. A secret daggone thing and everything. Damn. So this was him back in the day. Oh yeah. This is him back in the day right here. Back in the day.
Just when we thought it was over. Oh no, baby, it ain't over.
So this was what he was looking like back in the day. So yeah, I can see it. So we're looking at what he's looking like now. All right, but this is what he was looking like back in the day. Yeah, working out, all of that. Do y'all believe Do y'all believe him? The thing about it, one thing about it, black people, y'all got to stop what y'all be doing, some of y'all. First here is see if people got evidence to support what they're saying. Because we don't know none of these people. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know. This is her and her husband, right? And we just don't know what these people be getting into. So we have to stop being so quick to say people are guilty or not guilty before seeing the facts. We don't damn know. You know what I'm saying? That's a cute picture. I want to keep that one up here because they look cute together on this picture. Actually, let me go back to him and put him up here, actually. Let's keep him up there. All right. So, I know, get it down where these people ain't out here flying a drone or either one of those little things you drive at night in the air. These people are so weird. But anyway, we have to stop doing that without seeing actual evidence and proof, okay? Because we don't know what the hell these people did. And back in the day, he actually looked all right. I was looking at him now and I was like, But back in the day, yeah, I could see her doing all this and stuff. I mean, and he's not taking up for Combs either, because he also is writing a book where he talks about Diddy and Cassie. He's saying neither one of them are innocent. He said that Diddy is guilty. That's what he just said when he first came on, and so is Cassie. And he said that Cassie manipulated him, and she also is the one who basically, wanted the XCX when her missus was on. All right? He just said all that. Then he said that she gave him an STD, allegedly, and allegedly she aborted his child. Like I said before, he has a lawsuit. Hopefully he has proof, because if he has all that, and then he said that Cassie said a lot of stuff in the trial. So it just all depends on what was said and, the proof that he has, point blank. Of course, he has his eyes on that money, shit. But the thing about it, if this stuff is true, he's saying he should get money. You listen, you guys, you can't be so quick to believe all these women, but you're not quick to believe this man. You know what I'm saying? We all know that we think that Diddy is bi. We don't know for sure. So, I mean, anything is basically possible. Hold on, let me take this banner down real quick. This other one. Let me put this up here. Let me put this up here. His name is Clayton, right? So let me read the stuff that I got real quick. I'm probably going to repeat the same thing. This is a hot ass mess, you guys, man. So anyway, they said, of course, we just seen where he took to social media to share more allegations against Cassie. He accused her of actually assaulting him while failing to disclose that she was on her period. And he said that she was heavily intoxicated, okay? Also, he alleged that Cassie lied about an overdose story at a freak-off party and allegedly was the one to pursue actual activity in that instance. He said, "I'm not looking to destroy Cassie." Howard said he gave her over a year to settle the allegations against her before proceeding in court. He said the problem is she is being supported by women who choose to attack male victims instead of accepting the truth. A woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend that broke her heart and hurt her. Cassie did this to herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have taken her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset. So, so we just saw that video. So anyway, for those who do not know this man, Clayton Howard previously claimed that he got Cassie pregnant during a Diddy encounter and also accused her of giving him a STD. He claims she aborted their child without his knowledge. Now, let's see. If this is true, it should be some way he could check. They can get that information. I don't know if they can though, because this was probably so long ago, but it may be possible. Anyway, he said, I don't blame Cassie for deciding to abort our child. That's what he put in his new book. I know it must have been a difficult decision for her. I blame the situation for what happened. The situation led us to create a life due to our carelessness, and that carelessness resulted in the unaliving of an innocent child, because they were having entanglements without using, protection. So this is a hot ass mess. Okay, let's see what else. But how did he find out about the baby? So I guess that's all in the book. But I wish he would go into a little bit more detail and tell us how did he find out about the baby and what type of evidence, proof that he had. So he sued Cassie and Diddy for ex trafficking and other alleged crimes. Okay, so he sued both of them for ex trafficking and other alleged crimes. Goodness. So let's see what else we got. Let's see what some of these people are saying in the comment section. Somebody says, see, it's always another side. She is not the hero they are portraying her to be. She's a victim of her own bad choices. We all make them. We have to own up to our choices. Somebody said there were men that Diddy also raped too, right? She got immunity. That's why she got it. Okay, that's why they offer her that. They gave her immunity so she won't get in trouble, and so she would tell, because she probably wasn't going to tell at first until they gave her that. Because she knows she did stuff that she should have done. And that tells you that she's not completely innocent. Y'all better stop being so naive. However, would any of them have taken the same path or done the same things in life if Diddy didn't instigate it? His company is literally called Bad Boy Entertainment. Look, you can listen. The thing about it, you cannot blame him for people deciding to do things. Okay, I can hang with people. I'm gonna get to all of y'all stuff in a minute. I can hang with, and I have hung with people that did all types of stuff, and I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it. All right, so it's still up to you ultimately to decide if I should do this or if I shouldn't do this. All right, I'm so sick of people blaming everybody else for the choices they make. That's what's wrong with people. Stop blaming everybody else. When you make a choice, unless you are a child or have some type of mental situation going on, it's your decision. It's your fault. Own up to it. Period. So this person right here wrote a whole novella. I'm not going to read it, because the thing is, don't try to blame everything on one person when these are grown ass people. All right? Period. If you hook up with a woman or a man and they are doing weird shit and you can't get it with them, okay, you can't get with them because of it, you should not be with them. I don't give a damn how much money they have. All right? I don't. So let's see. And he was probably drunk too. I think they both were, because he said she manipulated him. So he probably was a little, intoxicated too. Because remember, at the freak offs, Diddy and them, all of them, they did stuff. They did the drugs. All right. It is legal, but that doesn't mean that you need to do it. Okay. A lot of things is legal. But that doesn't mean we need to do them, And then if he did get her pregnant, she should have discussed that with him, period. They should have all discussed it since they was having orgies, and went from there. I don't know. Remember, the feds had a bunch of witnesses and everything, and they did not call all of those people because it would have taken too long. So he could have been one of the people on the list. We just don't know. You said one thing he right about is Cassie taking the cash and not getting on the stand. I know that's right, because I'm going to tell you straight up, I would have got that cash and that would have been it. But I tell you what, the feds wanted to try to get Diddy. So they went over there and they told her whatever they said and had her talk about it, you know. And if he, let me tell you something. If he had an STD, I'm pretty sure he still has the records. Okay. If they go back and look at the tapes and stuff, the messages, and I think his name popped up in them, and they look at the dates of that and everything, then they can pretty much sum it up that he caught a disease from that freak off with Cassie and Diddy. Remember, I don't think Diddy participated in that right there. Okay, I think he just watched and did his little stuff, So the thing is, if he has paperwork that, when he went to the doctor, and it has the date, the time, his name, and everything on it, and then in those text messages, just say they talked about, hiring him, getting him, and all that stuff. If all of that, if they have that, and it all the dates match, then there it is right there. He said that Cassie's testimony gave him all the proof that he needs, because whatever she said, the things that we don't know about, she may have said something about it. Because remember, from criminal charges, she has immunity, but not for the civil lawsuit. So when she was up there talking, and she did talk about this dude, because I remember when she was talking about her missus and all that other stuff. Okay, and he's repeating all that stuff. So she said all this on the stand, and of course they got proof of that. So there you go. All he needs to do is show that in the civil court case. So he went by Dave. That's what I'm talking about. This is crazy. So he looked, back then he was a decent looking dude. So yeah, she probably was. Yeah. When I first heard this entire thing, I had taken Cassie's side. I'm not gonna lie, because I was just thinking about this Diddy beating her ass and things like that. And Jermaine all along was saying this girl, he was saying a lot of stuff. Because you remember when I was doing those videos, you heard us talking, and I was on Cassie's side and stuff like that. Then when I saw those damn text messages, y'all, that's when I changed my mind. That's when I started seeing everything for what it is. Because there's no way. Listen, I was in a domestic violence relationship, okay, when I was very young as well, with my first boyfriend, my 3 kids' oldest dad. My oldest kid's dad, okay, and we were gonna get married and everything. And he was 7 years older than myself. And so when I first met him, he was a knight in shining armor as well. Gave me money, bought everything, and did everything. He taught me how to drive. He taught me how to cook, all types of stuff. Got me my first place. He didn't stay with me. He just got me my first place. But this dude, he was ex-Marine, got on those DRUGS. And he started, fighting me and stuff. But I fought him back, okay? But the thing about it is, I wasn't going to write letters and shit saying this dude is like that, and putting him up on a pedestal and shit like that. I just wasn't going to do it, even though I did go back to him, because we, like I said, we had a child together at that time. Of course, I went back. But the thing about it, I wasn't sitting up there writing all this, these good positive messages and shit about him and things like that, like they did with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Even when they weren't with Diddy, they were writing him messages and shit, praising this dude. If a dude is doing all of this stuff to you, okay, and got you terrified, how the hell are you writing all these positive messages? And why do you feel like there's a need for you to schedule a breakup date? Who the hell does this? Let's keep it real. All right, who does this? I'm not scheduling a breakup date with you. All right. For what? We can talk on the phone and end it. All right. There's no reason to schedule a breakup date like we are married and going to counseling. That's weird to me, especially if I'm claiming I'm so scared of this dude. Now, I was not afraid of my first boyfriend. All right. Because I fought him back, like I just told you guys. All right. But I still didn't feel like it would be a need to set up a breakup date. That's crazy. She should have just not said a word. All right. Just don't say shit. I just don't know anything. I mean, don't say nothing, especially since you got paid $20 million. Look, all these women in the comment section talking about she didn't get enough money. Let me ask you women this, all right? The ones who, got abused by men, domestic violence. Did you get $20 million? Because I damn sure didn't get $20 million. All right? Did you get it? So she did get enough, okay? She did. Then she got another $10 million. That's $30 million. More than most of us will ever see in a lifetime. Because she got her ass whooped. And he probably did manipulate her into doing some freak offs when she did not want to. Let's keep it real. All right? So, but the thing is though, you cannot open up the door for this shit because you like a dude. You think I'm getting ready to meet a dude and he want me to do orgies and I know I don't like doing orgies. You think I'm gonna do it anyway so he can like me? Please, if anything, he's probably gonna end up not liking me in a serious manner because honestly, what type of woman is going to go out here having sex with all these different men? Okay, and then think this man is going to be serious with you and marry you. Okay, come on now, you gotta think. You said Diddy's American Express was charged nearly $47,000 for a stay by a male escort named Clayton Howard, aka Dave, at the Four Seasons. And that's what I'm saying. That's the proof he's talking about. So you guys know he's not lying. Then you got these black women, according to him, going around victim shaming him. Y'all got to do better. You got to do better. Okay? If you don't want men to victim shame you, why are you victim shaming him? Because he's a male. You said when Trump took office, the best prosecutors at SDNY quit. I guess we seeing. I guess we are. So the thing is this right here. Until we see the proof, we really can't say we don't believe them. We can say we don't believe them, but we can't say that they are basically lying or telling the truth. We can't say either one because we need to see the proof. Just like with any criminal case. I don't know why everybody always jump to this stuff and they don't be knowing stuff. Just like even with the Diddy trial, everybody claimed that they knew Diddy was going to be not charged for ex trafficking. But I promise you, most people I listened to and heard, they were saying that he was going to be charged. Not everybody want to claim they knew. You didn't know shit. All right, you didn't know shit. Over here, we dissected the daggone case. At first, I said Diddy was not guilty at all. Then I changed it when Jermaine sent me the Mann Act. I didn't even hear anybody else on social media talking about the Mann Act. Jermaine sent me that, told me to look at the Mann Act. I said right here on my live and went to the legal dictionary and looked up the Mann Act. All right. And then I read it to you guys. I also read it to myself. And that's when I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even lie. This sounds like Diddy is guilty. And I said, I'm not a lawyer, but it sounds like Diddy is guilty of transporting for against state lines for the P word. I kept on saying that, but then I also kept on saying, I don't see no RICO. But then Jermaine was like, he got two of those elements. And so I looked at the elements and at that time I was like, okay, I see the one and he might have the other elements if they have proof for real and not no hearsay. And that's the bribery and the kidnapping if he actually held this person against their will and they couldn't leave. It turns out the girl could leave Jane Doe. So that's not kidnapping. As with the one with Cassie, it turned out, I don't know if they could prove that or they didn't know for sure. So they couldn't do the kidnapping because Cassie could have stayed in the hotel herself because, for whatever reason. You got to have proof. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, granted, it could be true what Cassie said. We don't know for sure, but you still got to have that proof. That's why I tell women, if some man is doing domestic violence to you, you have to report it. Because if you don't report the shit and get a incident report written out, how do you think somebody going to believe anything you say? You have to do it. He's suing Cassie for $20 million. I don't see him getting $20 million. How much is he suing Diddy? Because he's suing both of them. He is suing Cassie and Diddy. Got to be Tristan, because this woman ain't nothing. You know, I remember when Jermaine said it, I was like getting on Jermaine's ass. But Jermaine, I got to apologize to you for that one, because damn, I think you are right. Okay, point blank, this girl, man. That's probably the total. He's probably. I need to look at his lawsuit. Let's see if we can find his lawsuit. I mean, I know we probably won't be able to see it, but let me see if they can go in a little bit more detail about that. Let's see. I don't want to hear none of this dude talking about right here, for real, for real. Damn, everybody want to come out and start talking, but they didn't talk before all this shit happened. What's the point of talking if you didn't talk when he was doing all this stuff? I'm talking about Diddy. You set your ass there and you watched stuff go on. You said you were scared that he was going to retaliate. You were scared he was going to stop you from working in the business. So you value your business, you know, your job more than you do somebody getting their ass whooped and things like that. Come on now. Hold on. So I'm looking for this dude's lawsuit, right? Let's see. What's his name? Clayton Howard. Let's see. Let's see if they say anything about it. So he's suing Cassie and Diddy. All right. Both of them. All right. He said he was DRUGGED. I told y'all that dude was that, and he left with an STD. So that's how he ended up doing something with, you know, Cassie allegedly when she was on her missus. And honestly, y'all, let me tell y'all something. I don't even think I would even say shit about that in court. Certain things you just don't need to talk about. Yeah, he's suing Cassie and Diddy. All right. He said he was DRUGGED, manipulated and traumatized by Diddy and Cassie. All right. He is now seeking compensation for psychological injury and other forms of trauma he experienced while working for the duo. He got paid up to $47,000. So you know, getting damn well, he's already telling the truth on the part where he says that he was so good and be in the bed that they kept hiring him. I believe him. I really do. I believe that. And now all I need to do is see the other proof. So they said, although Diddy walked away with a minimal sentence during his recent ex-crimes trial, his legal battles seem far from over. Let's see. So this is that's the new lawsuit that I was telling you guys about the other day, Clayton Howard. He said he believes she contracted those during the freak-offs he had with Cassie and Diddy. So Diddy was doing something with him too? Is that what he said? That's disgusting. Because he said he contracted this during the freak-offs he had with both. Okay? That's according to TMZ. And Cassie did not inform him and instead chose to abort the child. Did she talk about that in that trial? Jermaine, see if you can find anything about that real quick. And he said that she continued to have sex with him, often unprotected and DRUG induced, and also compelled him on multiple occasions to masturbate for hours on end. Damn. He said these sessions, he claimed, would often result in tears, peeling skin, and scabbing on his you-know-what afterward. He said that Cassie and Diddy used him to satisfy their sexual fetishes. Now, he did not testify Diddy's ex crimes, but he was listed as one of the many people the rapper allegedly hired for his freak offs. So it's proven that he was hired. You saw the receipt, 47,000. And I believe him when he said they made him do the M word for hours at a time. He said Cassie, did he say Diddy too, or he said both? Let's see here. Yeah, she made him do that on multiple occasions for hours on end until his skin started pulling off and things like that. Gosh, I don't know if I would have did that shit. That's out. So he started participating in these sections with Diddy and Cassie. He got both of their names in there. In 2009, they did this for about 5 years. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to about 2014. He said they trafficked him for the purpose of commercial X, which he described as entertainment to satisfy their actual fetishes and personal ambitions. This is crazy, man. I'm going to look at that one in a minute. I'm going to pray for Cassie because I don't want her to unalive herself from all this backfire. I don't think she will. Cassie, she got all that damn money. She don't need to. Did not mention any abortion during Sean Diddy Combs' criminal trial. Thank you. Could have been because she was pregnant. Okay. I don't know why he ain't stopped. I don't know. Remember, he was DRUGGED. Okay. He also alleged in a lawsuit that he was DRUGGED, manipulated and traumatized by Cassie and Diddy. All right. Whom he described as being involved in a toxic and abusive relationship, as supported by reports from Diddy's trial. So everything he's saying, she already repeated most of it in the damn testimony. So he won money for his physical and psychological injury, lost wages and benefits, medical expenses, pain and suffering, emotional distress, and mental anguish, as well as loss of enjoyment of life. That's crazy, man. So Jane Doe also had filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy. And she said she was gang raped in X trafficking when she was 17. That's from a different Jane Doe. And then Lisa Gardner accused the rapper and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall of having sex with her against her will when she was only 16. I talked about these people before. And then Joy Dickerson Neal also sued Diddy for sexual assault and for recording the assault. She claimed she was DRUGGED by the rapper after agreeing to go on a date with him while she was a student at Syracuse University in 1991. And then Crystal McKinney accused the rapper of forcing her to perform, the ORALX on him with the promise that he would help her career. And then April Lamphouse also filed a suit against Diddy, who claims include battery, sexual assault, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and committing a crime of violence motivated by gender. So he's been hit with 66 lawsuits since he was first indicted last September. So he has to fight each of those civil lawsuits. So they did say following the verdict in Diddy's ex-crimes trial, his lawyer, Erica Wolf, claimed the jury's decision is proof that the rapper is innocent of the claims in his numerous civil suits. Well, if they got proof, okay, we'll see if they got proof. If they don't have any proof, I don't see people winning. But if they have proof, because I think you need proof in a civil lawsuit. I can't remember exactly. I have to look that up. So of course they said that he never actually assaulted anyone or trafficked anyone. Okay. So I still say everybody can be lying. Okay, I always say that, and I still say some people are lying, but some people aren't. What did I just say I was gonna look up with the civil lawsuit? What do you need in order to prove it? Let me see real quick. That is crazy, man. Hold on. Look this up. Let's see here. I think you have to have proof though. Let's see. Yeah, you have to prove their case. Okay, you have to prove the case by a preponderance of the evidence. This means showing it is more likely than not that the defendant is responsible for the harm they suffered. The plaintiff must present evidence to support their claims, which can include witness testimonies, documents, and expert opinions. So if Cassie was up there telling everything, okay, about this dude and her and Diddy, trying to get Diddy, but didn't realize she's getting herself in a civil lawsuit, then there you go. That's why he said Cassie gave all the proof that he needs. And if that's true, then it is what it is. And if people think this dude should not be coming up saying anything, y'all crazy as hell. All right? How is it that these women can get up here and say stuff, but these men can't? Okay? You're victim shaming a man. We don't know what did he say to these people, him and Cassie. We just don't know. You know what I'm saying? We just do not know. He said he had just got out of prison or jail. He couldn't get a job. So it is what it is. Then you taking drugs. I guarantee you, a lot of people have gotten super, super high or drunk and have done many things that they regret. That's why it's not good to be intoxicated with drugs or with alcohol, because when you are intoxicated, you can be easily persuaded to do many different things, okay, including actual things. That's why when you go meet women, sometimes you meet at a club, they get you intoxicated so you can keep on spending your money. All right, that's why some women do that. All right. Shh. You said if he got sores on his johns, he did it to himself. The thing about it, if he was under the influence of heavily drugs, then he's probably going to be more willing to go ahead and do these things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You said, right, it's a lower threshold in civil cases. Cassie and Diddy should just settle. They just need to. So they bringing this stuff all out. Then everybody hear all this freaky shit that they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Let's be done with this shit. I mean, for real. Let's see what else we can find out. So we saw that lawsuit a little bit. Let me see what else they got here. Let's see what they talk about right here. Let me look at this real quick, y'all. Oh, man, I do not want to do this. We're not going to do that. Let me look at something else. Hold on. So what did he ask for? 20 million from Cassie and Diddy. I wonder what proof does he have regarding the aborting the baby. I would like to know that. They say he probably was scared of Diddy. Like I said, we don't know Diddy. Like I said before, I don't know what he held over these people, what he held over Cassie. Well, I know he beat the shit out of Cassie, so that's probably why she did some things, but I just don't know. I'm trying to figure out why all these people are scared of him, but like Jermaine said, we just don't know everything Diddy may get into, who he may be connected to. We just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know, you know. So it's all over everywhere, you know, for real. Yeah. So both of them are in this lawsuit. I wonder what her husband is saying about all this. Is this the same dude right here? I don't know if this is the same dude. What's his middle name? So anyway, we are definitely going to stay on top of this story right here because this is a hot ass juicy mess. I mean, for real. Let's see what they got right here. Let me see what documents they have. This is the lawsuit right here. Let's see. Let's see if I can read it. Yep. Clayton Howard versus Sean Combs, Cassandra Ventura, Bad Boy Records, Epic Records again, Combs Enterprises, LLC, Beverly Hills Hotel, and Doe Corporations. Yep, that's what he's suing all of these people. Hold on. AKA Dave and Mr. Howard hereby alleges as in for his complaint against defendant Sean Combs, Cassandra Ventura, Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Records, Epic Records, Combs Enterprises, LLC, and Doe Corporations 1 through 10 as follows. Plaintiff Clayton Howard brings the civil actions against defendants Sean Combs and Cassandra Ventura arising from an 8-year period of systematic sexual exploitation, trafficking, and abuse that occurred between approximately 2009 and I don't know what else it says because they just got part of it up here. So let me see, what did they get? Let me look at this complaint all the way down. Let's see if we can open it. Let's just open it right there. This is a whole long list. I'm gonna have to make sure I get this shit off because, oh hell no, this is 49 pages, you guys. Damn, he definitely must be. This is a lot of shit. Let me see what this says right here real quick. So anyway, hold on. This case, I'll read a little of it for you guys. I can't read all of it because this is 49 pages. This case exposes the darker truth behind the widely publicized narrative surrounding defendant Ventura's recent civil settlement and the ongoing criminal prosecution of defendant Combs. Defendant Combs, Sean Combs, is a prominent rapper and record executive known by his stage names Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or Diddy, who rose to fame in the early 1900s with his record label Bad Boy Records and is regularly referred to as hip hop mogul. Defendant Cassandra Ventura, known professionally as Cassie, is a singer, actress, and model who gained prominence in the early 2000s with her single Me and You and appeared in films including The Perfect Match and Step It Up to The Streets. So defendants maintained a highly publicized romantic relationship from 2007 to 2018, during which both were toxic individuals addicted to opiates and meth, who had no regard for others or the law. Their relationship was characterized by sexually explicit, depraved activity categorized as swinging, with defendant Combs harboring a specific fetish for voyeurism. The relationship was abusive, with defendant Combs frequently physically assaulting defendant Ventura in response to domestic incident neither could emotionally control. Damn. The misleading public narrative. In late 2023, defendant Ventura filed a civil action against defendant Combs pursuant to the Gender Motivated Violence Act, alleging that Combs manipulated, abused, and controlled her for over a decade through violent behavior and disturbing demands. She claims to have spent over a decade trapped in a cycle of abuse. violence in X trafficking, including allegations that Combs forced her to engage in X acts with male X workers while he masturbed and filmed the encounters. The parties settled this action within 24 hours for $20 million. The Office of the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York arrested and indicted defendant Combs for X trafficking in violation of the Mann Act, with the prosecution's foundation based largely on defendant Ventura's allegations. Defendant Combs currently faces trial on RICO charges. Contrary to the narrative presented in defendant Ventura's civil complaint, in the subsequent criminal prosecution, the truth reveals a far more complex and disturbing reality. Defendant Ventura was not merely a victim forced into sexual encounters with male escorts, but rather an active and engaged participant who willingly manipulated and exploited others, including plaintiff, to satisfy the actually depraved desires of defendant Combs in herself. Yep. For more than 8 years, the defendants operated a scheme. Damn, he calling it a scheme, whereby they systematically exploited plaintiff through manipulation, coercion, controlled substances, and threats of violence to engage in non-consensual sexual activities for their gratification and commercial purposes. Defendant Ventura accomplished this exploitation by concealing her identity and fabricating the narrative that she and defendant Combs were married, using this deception to entice men into use in sexual encounters. And remember what the partner said, not the partner, the Punisher. The Punisher said when he first met Cassie, she said she was married, her husband. All right. Now, defendants DRUGGED plaintiff with controlled substance, including MDMA, in doses 3 times stronger than what defendant Ventura herself consumed, to lower his, how you say this? Let me spell it: INHIBITIONS, and facilitate actual exploitation. Defendant Ventura used these substances like a spider catching its prey in its web to manipulate plaintiff into unprotected sexual contact designed to please defendant Combs and prove her devotion to his appetites. And this is what she said. So wait a minute, he said defendant Cassie would command plaintiff to masturbate for hours while she pleasured herself to climax, visibly satisfying herself at the sight of plaintiff's anatomy. These extended masturbation sessions often led plaintiff's penis bruised and swollen, injuries about which he would complain to defendant Ventura, seeking consideration. However, defendant Ventura showed no mercy, simply demanding compliance while pleasuring herself in a manner she hoped would satisfy defendant Combs, who derived satisfaction from watching her gratification through his voyeuristic desires. Hold on, Bob Payo. So anyway, he said that during these encounters, defendant Combs watched silently in the shadows, directing the activities, as they said before, as if he were a film director, orchestrating his vision. Once defendant Ventura was ready to begin, defendant Combs regulated her responses and controlled the rate of actual activity, exercising complete dominance over both plaintiff and defendant Ventura in what the couple considered a special shared experience. These people are weird. While defendant Combs appeared to serve as a protector rather than an oppressor, supporting defendant Ventura's desires and catering to her with wine and fruit. There you go with that fruit, you guys. During encounters. We heard about that fruit before. His presence was deliberately intimidating as part of his role in protecting his partner from the men they exploited. Threats of violence were implied when defendant Combs wished to assert control, and during at least one encounter, he threatened to pistol whip plaintiff, directing defendant Ventura to the master suite to retrieve his firearm. Damn. Y'all, this is a lot of shit, man. Woo! Hold on. He said at no time did defendant Ventura display fear when engaged in or about to engage in actual encounter. All abuse witnessed by plaintiff happened due to domestic complications between the defendants, including jealousy, ego, and arrogance, aided by extensive DRUG use and sleep deprivation, which contributed to violent outbursts from defendant Combs, who consumed far more DRUGs than defendant Ventura. So he said they did actual assault and non-consensual recording. He said he was actually assaulted by defendant Ventura, who would manipulate and force herself upon plaintiff during her misses against his will. Defendants filmed plaintiff in compromising encounters without his consent for years, creating recordings that the couple would watch together after the encounters and then use for mutual masturbaton. And then he said when plaintiff confronted defendant Ventura about the recording and vocalized his desire not to be recorded, she explained that she enjoyed their actual relationship and provided her reasons for the recording. Defendant Ventura then opened her MacBook to a previous recording and masturbated to climax in front of plaintiff while watching an encounter involving the two of them, demonstrating the extent of her manipulation and control. And then he said that he was engaged in commercial sex trafficking. For more than 5 years, defendants trafficked plaintiff for purposes of commercial sex, using him as entertainment to satisfy their sexual fetishes and personal ambitions. The couple DRUGGED manipulated and traumatized plaintiff while themselves engaged in a toxic, domestically abusive relationship that often became violent. So they both were fighting each other a lot of times. So he said defendant Ventura had a specific preference in selecting her companions and chose plaintiff for 8 years over many other available options. And he said that the criminal, in this paperwork, it says that the subsequent criminal trial proceedings have revealed that. So the allegation demonstrate that defendant Ventura deceived, manipulated, an injured plaintiff and therefore should be held accountable alongside defendant Combs, as the two were partners in this criminal enterprise. So he's calling it criminal enterprise. Okay, he said that they ex-trafficked him. So obstruction of justice and witness manipulation. So it said plaintiff's ability to seek timely legal recourse was deliberately frustrated through a coordinated effort involving his former counsel, who communicated with federal prosecutors without plaintiff's presence. The plaintiff was advised to remain silent and was manipulated into inaction, with his attorney intentionally delaying action to protect defendant Ventura's credibility. I definitely believe that part. The plaintiff was specifically advised that should he file a complaint, he would lose credibility before the court and therefore should refrain from doing so if he wished to do what was right and tell the truth. His counsel deceived, ignored, and misled him regarding the creation of the initial complaint against defendants and when it would be filed. So hold on. Okay, so despite serving as a complying witness for the government and providing information that was later corroborated by investigators, thereby validating his credibility in the truthfulness of his statements, federal prosecutors ultimately withheld plaintiff's testimony despite its I can't even pronounce this. Despite him cooperating in his valid allegations against both defendants. So basically, he said the government did not let him get on the stand or anything. That's if I'm understanding this correctly. So then you got denial of justice and present claims. So it says, for many years, plaintiff has lived with this trauma in silence, forced to endure the psychological and physical consequences with no visible avenue for justice. While defendant Ventura's allegations have destroyed defendant Combs' career, she has escaped liability by using allegations of abuse to avoid criminal responsibility for her own actions, thereby denying victims like plaintiff the justice to which they are entitled. So it's got y'all, this is 49 pages. I just did 7, okay? It's a lot. Y'all may want to just type in this to read all of this. This is a lot of shit. So he said that he wanted to testify and the government stopped him from doing it, if I read this right. He wanted to, I guess, get criminal charges on Cassie too, along with Diddy, if I'm reading this correctly. So he's trying to get declaratory, I guess I said that right, injunctive and monetary relief under federal ex-trafficking statutes. And they got all the, the everything down here. Damn. Human trafficking, all types of stuff. He got a lot of stuff here, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just reading through some of it. Oh, let me see this. He said he worked, he started doing the Independent Male Companion in New York back in 2009. He saw clients for almost 60 days before he met Combs and Cassie. So he was recruited by them, okay? And he got the business name in there too as well. Damn, so he said it says at the relevant times herein, Mr. Howard met the definition of an employee while under the control of the defendants under relevant statutes. Damn. And Mr. Combs met the definition of an employer. And Cassie met the definition of an employer. And then Bad Boy and all his companies and everything else as well. And then he said at that hotel, Beverly Hills Hotel, he said that the defendant facilitated trafficking when any employee aided other defendants in the commission of illegal activity. Gosh. So defendant Doe corporations are corporations and entities affiliated and associated with the defendant corporations. This is crazy, y'all, man. He also said Mr. Howard, meets Combs and Cassie under fraudulent circumstances. She gave it, okay, she told him that her name was Jackie Starr in late 2009. So Cassie identified herself as Jackie Starr, and then she invited Mr. Howard Dade to the London hotel located in New York City to serve as a male companion and to provide her with time and company in the privacy of her hotel room for an agreed upon hourly rate. Cassie attempted to conceal her identity through the use of makeup, a large red wig, and dim lighting in the room, which created poor visual conditions. And this is the same thing that the Punisher said, because he didn't even know that was Cassie, and he didn't know that was Sean Combs. Miss Cassie failed to inform Dave, Mr. Howard, prior to the meeting that another party would be present. That's the same thing the Punisher said. The Punisher said that when he met Cassie at the hotel, he said he just thought it was for Cassie. I guess he thought he was going to do a dance. I don't know. And then she had told him that she didn't want him to do the other thing. She wanted him to do a sexy scene for herself and her husband. Okay? Anyway, he said immediately after greeting Mr. Howard, Cassie offered him alcohol and a marijuana cigarette, then instructed him to be seated in the living room. The two parties spoke for about 30 minutes while becoming familiar and relaxed. After about 30 minutes, Cassie asked to see the personal identification of him for safety purposes so she would know who he really was. Why would you need that, though, if you hired him through a escort service? I'm going to show them, because if you hired him through an escort service, they have his real identity. I do not know, Paulo. I do not know. Having nothing to hide and wanting to make a woman he assumed alone comfortable, he gave Cassie, Jackie Starr, his New York State driver's license, revealing his identity, his true identity. And then Cassie informed Mr. Howard of her intentions by standing and requesting that he exposed his area. So then he was high on the weed. So he agreed to Cassie's request, and she claimed to be impressed. Cassie then told him that they were not alone and that her husband was upstairs, but assured him that the situation was acceptable because her husband had consented to her having a male companion visit to see where things might lead. And then Cassie explained that she and her husband were participants in the lifestyle that her husband preferred, to watch her be pleased by men with larger male reproductive organs. What? Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Kim, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy 4th of July to you, and I hope you had a good holiday. So Cassie stated that she preferred men with darker complexions, complimenting Mr. Howard's complexion before excusing herself to retrieve her husband so that the activities could begin. Then Cassie retrieved, Mr. Combs, whom she introduced as her husband, and presented to Mr. Howard under his alias name Frank. Then Mr. Combs greeted Mr. Howard with indifference. Then retrieved baby oil in Astroglide lube, both of which had been positioned on a platter on the center table. Mr. Combs then retreated to a darkened corner of the room where poor lighting made it difficult to observe his movements clearly. Mr. Howard was instructed not to address Mr. Combs directly and to speak only to Jackie. Mr. Combs concealed his identity by wearing a baseball cap pulled low over his eyebrows and a cloth tied around his nose and mouth, which obscured his facial features and made him unrecognizable. The same thing the Punisher said. Yeah, he dark-skinned. She liked that dark meat. Anyway, Mr. Combs did speak. It was to inquire whether Cassie was acceptable or if she needed anything. Mr. Combs also provided direction to both Mr. Howard and Miss Ventura, regulating the pace of their physical contact, as well as will be further explained in subsequent paragraphs. So, wait a minute. The first encounter served as plaintiff's initial education into what would be required of him by the defendants, with all subsequent encounters following an identical structure that forms the basic for the description of all encounters described hereafter within this complaint. So at each encounter, Mr. Howard had no, I forgot how you say this. Let me spell it. AUTONOMY. He was required to follow orders and was expected not to disobey. And then financial compensation was used as form of dominance once Mr. Howard was committed to any activity within the encounter. So Mr. Howard was instructed by Cassie to remove all his clothing upon entry into the suite and to surrender his clothes and phones to Cassie. Yep, that's crazy. Mr. Howard's cell phone was turned off and surrendered with his clothing to Cassie, which prevented him from leaving by choice without compromising his safety. He said this lawsuit says some suites require keys to access the floors. It had no access to stair rails without triggering alarms, making escape difficult. So that's why he can leave. Mr. Howard was instructed by Cassie to apply baby oil to his nude body. When Mr. Howard applied the oil to his hand and began to, spread it evenly, Mrs. Ventura would use her own bottle to saturate Mr. Howard's chest, abdomen, and arms with oil before stepping closer and attempting to apply it evenly herself. These people are some damn freaks. All right. Cassie often sprayed Mr. Howard with oil during application to make distribution over his skin easier. Anyway, the defendants structured these encounters into 4 phases. Number 1, no touch. Number 2, soft foreplay. Number 3, fellatio. And number 4, intercourse, which were directed by Sean Combs for the purpose of controlling Cassie's arousal and timing of CLIMAX. Okay, y'all, this is a hot ass mess, man. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute, hold on. I cannot do this. Anyway, through the use of manipulation and financial coercion, Mr. Howard will remain in these phases for hours, with each individual stage lasting for over an hour. Mrs. Ventura controlled the start of the activity and would seek Mr. Combs' permission regarding when she could progress to the next stage. If Mr. Combs was not ready, he would refuse permission, but he often granted Mrs. Ventura's permission to MASTUR, you know what I'm talking about, if she requested. Once the activity began, Mr. Combs controlled its progression in pace, seeking to control Mrs. Ventura's desires while pleasuring himself rather than directly participating. So he did not participate, you guys. These prolonged MASTURBATION sections caused skin tears and scabs on Mr. Howard's, you know what, causing him severe pain and scarring. While Mr. Howard stood covered in baby oil, I cannot believe this, Mrs. Ventura and Mr. Combs would MASTURBATE while watching him, which gave him a constant feeling of uneasiness and uncertainty. While Mr. Howard was ordered to stand nude, both defendants would pleasure themselves to the point of CLIMAX, and both defendants would be intoxicated using substances and alcohol to alter their moods and keep them awake. Some of these things were Schedule 1 narcotics, including amphetamines and opiates. The specific DRUGs used included ECS, TASY, GHB, ketamine, the white powder, MDMA, which is Molly. I didn't even know that. So that's Molly, okay. And weed. This is the same thing that these other people were saying. All right. Let me turn up. Yep. Mrs. Ventura in the earlier and middle years was extremely physical with Mr. Howard. It would ORALLY pleasure him for periods exceeding 1 hour at times. What? Y'all is a freakazoid, man. Damn. An hour doing that? Okay. Dehydrated from DRUGS, lack of water, and constant engagement in oral, Mrs. Ventura would often perform oral, you know what, until she had to stop when her jaw became sore from the prolonged activity. When intercourse was to happen, Mrs. Ventura's arousal would be so heightened that she would often beg Mr. Combs to allow her to engage. You know what, y'all? This is a lot of shit. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I just don't believe he's lying. 49 pages. 49 pages of explaining everything. Let me finish reading a little bit more. Mr. Howard was directed to engage in sexual contact with Mrs. Ventura until she, CLIMAXED, and was only allowed to stop once Cassie reached that. Once Mr. Combs consented to sexual contact, Mrs. Ventura controlled the degree of intimacy, including kissing, the intensity of it, and whether she would engage in unprotected, as will be described in later paragraphs. Once the CLIMAX of Mrs. Ventura happened, the cycle would be repeated. One encounter with Cassie could consist of 15 to 30 individual sessions, each including all 4 stages. The number of sections also depended on the number of days Mr. Howard would be detained until the defendants were ready to return his phone and clothing and release him. So, okay, let's stop right there for a second. So if they basically took his clothing, his phone, and they detained him, that shit almost sounds like kidnapping, doesn't it? So if Mr. Howard attempted to leave, he would be coerced by Mrs. Ventura into waiting or ignored if he knocked on the suite's master bedroom door, seeking to retrieve his items to leave. So then they start talking about doing the trial testimony of Mrs. Ventura. Mr. Howard heard her statements regarding Mr. Combs and how she allegedly had been forced to have unprotected sex with male entertainers. Mrs. Ventura claimed to have never wanted such activities and to have only engaged in them as a result of Mr. Combs' abuse in attempts to blackmail her. Although this allegation was substantiated, what's another word I can use for that? It was proved in one instance during the trial. It is not the same in all. It also does not completely prove all of Mrs. Ventura's claims of force and coercion, as every instance is not the same. Mr. Howard confidently asserts that Mr. Combs did not force Cassie to engage in a sexual encounter after the overdose she experienced while in his presence. It was Cassie who begged for the encounter, despite Mr. Combs' repeated attempts to end the night due to the overdose. Mr. Howard confidently asserts that it was Cassie who initiated unprotected sexual contact with him, and Mr. Combs had no knowledge of it happening until it was underway. Once Mr. Combs, who was observing the extra activity, noticed there was no condom being used, he stopped the activity and confronted Cassie about her actions. In response, Cassie lied to Mr. Combs, falsely informing him that she had reviewed Mr. Howard's STD test results and had confirmed he was completely clean. Mr. Howard, immediately conscious of the lie, interrupted and told Mr. Combs the truth, which was that what Mrs. Ventura had told him was false. Mr. Howard then provided his actual STD test results to Mr. Combs directly from his email. Once unprotected X began, Mr. Howard would be pressured into continuing it by both parties. Okay? So there you go, where it says that both of them had him do unprotected X. Mr. Howard was told he would be the exclusive partner of Mrs. Ventura, and it was agreed he would be compensated in exchange for clean test results and continued exceptional service. And we know that's true, exceptional service, because allegedly he called the male escort service and said that one person did not provide exceptional service. Anyway, the arrangement was agreed to after Mr. Howard was coerced into participating in an orgy with Mrs. Ventura, Mr. Combs, and another male provider named Daniel Phillip, who we heard about already. The goal of the orgy was to determine who could please Cassie the longest without issues, Mr. Howard or Mr. Phillip. The two men were offered substances and expected to perform continuously, taking turns with Cassie, who was eager and willing participant. This lasted for nearly 2 days before it ended. Mr. Howard outlasted Mr. Phillip. He was declared the winner, and the exclusive arrangement was proposed. He said DRUG was a major component of the encounters during the majority of the meetings. Mr. Howard did not engage in harder DRUGS for the first 2 years until they were offered to him by Mrs. Ventura, Cassie. So Mr. Howard, seeking to stay awake in response to repeated requests to satisfy Cassie, began to have difficulty staying awake as more was demanded of him. Cassie offered Mr. Howard ECSTASY, claiming it to be light and harmless in the doses she would provide. Mr. Howard would later learn from Cassie that she had tripled his dosage in order to get him freaky, as he recalls, and increase the intensity of the encounter. So he believed the two were in a monogamous relationship since the exit of Mr. Phillip, always receiving clean results when taking STD tests. And through the inducement of DRUGS and alcohol, the unprotected X continued. Then Mr. Howard impregnated Cassie, who ultimately decided to abort the pregnancy when she was unable to locate Mr. Howard for a period of time. Even after aborting a pregnancy, Cassie sought to have unprotected X during the encounters for years after. And then after reconnecting when separated for almost 8 months, Cassie confessed to Mr. Howard at a New York City Gramercy Park hotel that she had aborted a pregnancy created by Mr. Howard. Despite this revelation, Cassie insisted on unprotected X during that very encounter, which lasted several days as the two reconnected after the separation. It was after his victory in the encounter with Daniel Phillip that Cassie, DRUGGED, Mr. Howard, with a triple dose of, ECSTASY, and manipulating him into engaging in unprotected X. So he said he was DRUGGED by Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura. So it just goes, it goes into strict detail, every single damn thing they did. 49 pages of everything, man. I would just like to sit here and read everything to myself. This is a hot ass mess. Damn, it's even telling us that he was able to leave by calling an Uber. He said he had to spend 3 days recovering from their X sections. I guess she really allegedly DRUGGED him in that encounter because he was messed up. This is crazy, man. It's a lot of shit, y'all. Hold on, let me see what else they got. Then he talks about when Sean Combs drugged him at the Trump property at Columbus Circle in New York City. He had a pink substance in a small plastic bag, as he describes as pink MDMA, Molly, pink Molly. He said that that's when he was introduced. He was introduced to both Molly and ECSTASY by Cassie for purposes of enhancing their actual encounters. And he said he did not know about designer DRUGS. They didn't know though. And then Mr. Combs began to hint at Mrs. Ventura's instances on, overindulging, I guess, explaining she may get angry if Sean Combs did not participate or if he did not Howard did not participate. I don't know which one they're talking about right here. I think she was talking about Combs started hinting at the fact that Cassie would be mad if Howard did not take the drugs too. And it says Mr. Combs had never offered Mr. Howard drugs before this point, and the two had developed a mutual respect during the years of contact connected by Cassie. Against his better judgment, Mr. Howard agreed to consume a small dosage, hoping it would satisfy the demand and end the matter for the night. And then Mr. Combs retreated to the master suite, and within minutes, Mr. Howard recalls becoming extremely warm before he began to sweat uncontrollably. He began to have violent spasms, which curled him over, forcing him to crawl into a nearby bathroom. At no time did Sean Combs or Cassie leave the master suite. Once in the bathroom, Mr. Howard began to vomit uncontrollably. The pain from his stomach was intense, and he could not stop sweating, no matter how much he wiped. He vomited for several minutes until there was nothing left to regurgitate. Then Mr. Howard lay dizzy and weak on the bathroom floor for several minutes before he regained the strength to stand and approach the door. It was Mr. Combs who came upon the weakened and disoriented Mr. Howard first. Noticing the visible change, Mr. Combs inquired about Mr. Howard's condition. Mr. Howard recalls being afraid to confess his condition, but he began to feel so sick that he confessed his condition to Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs examined him briefly and agreed he did not look good. Mr. Combs turned to enter the master suite and asked Mr. Howard to wait. Mr. Combs and Cassie left the suite together. When Cassie asked what was wrong, Mr. Howard informed her that what Mr. Combs had given him was responsible. And then Cassie asked Sean Combs what he had given Mr. Howard, and Mr. Combs' response was the pink shit. So that's pink Molly, right? When Mr. Howard replied that Mr. Combs told him it was Molly, it was Mrs. Ventura who informed him that the substance he had been given was not Molly. Mr. Howard was given around $1,500 and released. He managed to exit the hotel and walk over 40 city blocks in December conditions, sweating uncontrollably and afraid. Finally, around Union Square, he regained enough of himself to call a friend and ask for help. He was picked up on a side block and taken home to recover. So that's a damn trip. He also said that he was coerced by Cassie and Combs. That's where he said he was flown to different places by the special request of Cassie from New York City to Miami, Florida, and to Los Angeles numerous times to entertain Cassie. Cassie would directly call Mr. Howard for encounters and on occasions threaten and or pressure Mr. Howard to become available. So after the victory over Daniel Phillips and Mr. Howard, the ex-trafficking began. All right. So they gave him special perks like travel and small gifts. All right. And Cassie gave him all that. And then he said that he would be contacted and asked if he was available to fly out to a location. He said at first it was exciting and flattering to experience such an attractive woman hungry for his attention. Over time, Mr. Howard became aware that this was much more than that. The first instance of trafficking happened when Mr. Howard was flown to Miami from New York after a call from Cassie. So they used JetBlue. He said Cassie paid for it, and Mr. Howard was off to Miami. So they went in all these different places. So they used to say that he was security for Bad Boy, y'all. He said he would spend days servicing Cassie, waiting to be released so he could return home to his normal life. One day he said he came there, he wasn't released to 3 damn days. So the thing is, this is like I said, I read through 23 pages somewhat, skipping over stuff, but it's 49 pages long, guys. And I don't know if he's lying about all this stuff. This is crazy. This is a whole lot. There is no way that all this stuff, it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. Trafficking, sexual assault. Let's see what else. A bunch of shit. When he caught the STD from her. I mean, it goes into strict detail. It really does. Then he talk about the domestic violence Hey, Jake Ford, what's up? What's up? Hope you had a good holiday. So then he started talking about the domestic violence. He said it was horrific. Domestic violence against Cassie. Let's see what he said on here. He said this happened over 10 years. He said the violence was attributed to forced labor and extra acts of depravity. I think I said that right. So he said his reality is far different from what Cassie said. He said Sean would assault Cassie in response to a variety of different factors. These include jealousy, arrogance, and perceived slights, perceived disrespect, perceived attempts to challenge him, and more. He said, but during an encounter, was Mrs. Ventura ever assaulted for a perceived lack of interest, hesitation, poor performance, or direct refusal to engage in actual encounters? He said Sean assaults Cassie in New York City after a perceived slight he falsely assumed to be validating. He did so by punching her twice in the chest in front of Mr. Howard. Damn. He also witnessed Sean grabbing, kicking, and shoving Cassie in response to a domestic argument. Then he said he witnessed Sean assault Cassie for making Mr. Howard a drink, despite being told by Mr. Combs not to. And then he assaulted Cassie because he assumed Cassie was mocking his, size, his penis size, when he attempted to bed her immediately after Mr. Howard had finished. That's damn disgusting. So he said the instances of domestic violence and abuse experienced by Mr. Howard traumatized him for years after they happened. He was made an unwillingness to witness and further victimized by this powerful couple who totally disregarded unless they needed his PENIS. When his PENIS was needed, he would be coerced, manipulated, and then seduced into DRUG use and compliance. And then he talks about when he cooperates with the U.S. attorneys for the Southern District of New York. In 2023, you guys, agents from the Department of Homeland Security investigations contacted Mr. Howard regarding his encounter with Mr. Combs and Cassie, requesting that he come in for an interview. Now, Sean Combs did not even get arrested until September, right? 2024, right? Is that right? This is 2025. No. He got arrested. Hold on, let's think about this. Because I started talking about this when it first happened. All right? When they did the lawsuit. The lawsuit was in when? November of 2023, right? And then they did the raid in 2024 in March, right? And then he got arrested. Hold on. She did the lawsuit in November, right? Okay. 2023. Then he settled it. Then they did the raid sometime in March or somewhere around that time in 2024, right? And then he got arrested in September 2024. I think I just said that, right? And then all this other stuff transpired. So they actually was investigating him for a minute. And they contacted this dude, according to what he's saying, in mid-December 2023. Homeland Security did. He said, having no experience in law at the time, Mr. Howard contacted his local criminal attorney, who was also not an expert in federal criminal law. In response to the U.S. Attorney's Office, provided counsel to advise and represent. But they provided counsel. The U.S. Attorney Office provided counsel to advise and represent Mr. Howard during the interview for legal purposes. So he spent the next year and a half in a cooperating government witness for the Southern District of New York. Mr. Howard provided airline payment receipts, boarding passes, dates, and photos of hotels to the government. Y'all listening? More importantly, Mr. Howard provided corroboration of illegal activities. Mr. Howard could corroborate a decade of illegal activity beginning in 2009 and concluding in late 2019. During this time period, Mr. Howard witnessed assaults against Mrs. Ventura, DRG use, and illegal activity and witness. Mr. Howard was additionally DRUGGED by both Cassie and Sean Combs on two separate occasions. Mr. Howard was the male provider who impregnated Mrs. Ventura after an encounter in 2013. As the interview process progressed, Mr. Howard was asked for details as he recalled them. Prosecutor Maureen Comey assisted Mr. Howard in a method of recollection by instructing him during an interview to write down his memories as he recalled them, due to the length of time he had elapsed since the conclusion of the relationship. Mr. Howard could then use these notes and present them to prosecutors, who would fact check the dates and locations for evidence that supported his allegations. The U.S. Attorney was able to establish Mr. Howard's credibility after investigating his claims. The U.S. Attorney verified encounters at the Gramercy Park Hotel in New York City, the Darien Hotel in Miami, the One Resident in Miami, the SLS Miami, the London, New York City, the Excess House Hotel in New York City, the Intercontinental Hotel, New York City in Miami, the Trump Hotel, New York City, in downtown Beverly Hills Hotel, Los Angeles. Damn. Mr. Howard verified the sexual assault allegations within this complaint when he provided supporting travel fare receipts for his departure and arrival flights to Los Angeles on the morning he was assaulted. As the investigation continued, the U.S. attorney became aware of criminality in the actions of Cassie. Because Cassie was not the target of the investigation, Mr. Howard's allegations against her were not acted upon. This is not right. They should have did this. Attorneys provided by the U.S. attorney worked to dissuade Mr. Howard from filing civil actions against Mr. Combs and Cassie. And that's why he's filing it now. The attorneys argue that allegations against Cassie would expose her to criminal liability and therefore might damage her credibility as a witness and public image. That's why they gave her immunity. All right. He better be making sure he have security. Mr. Howard asked the client directly instruct their attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, to file his action against the defendants before the expiration of a statute made available to adult survivors of sexual assault in New York. Mr. Blackburn began as directed by first contacting attorney Douglas Rickdor, seeking to settle litigations with Mrs. Ventura and offering her the opportunity to avoid exposure to the allegations once the lawsuit was made public after filing. Instead of Mr. Rickdor embracing this opportunity to protect his client's image from allegations he knew to be true, he sought the assistance of the U.S. attorney to dissuade Tyrone Blackburn from filing until after the criminal trial of Sean Combs, in which that's exactly what he just did. Filing after the trial would mean Mr. Howard would lose his right to action in the state of New York under the application statute being used at the time. Okay, so he wouldn't be able to file criminal charges against Cassie too. A calculated and coordinated effort has been made to protect Cassie from criminal liability that can be established. Now, why did they not want to charge her along with Diddy? And all these allegations we got here, it sounds like a RICO. Now, in protecting Mrs. Ventura, the civil rights of Mr. Howard and other potential victims of Cassie who may exist are entitled to a civil action against her as their offender have been compromised. Mrs. Ventura claims to have been forced, but despite her legal trauma, she willingly and intentionally victimized, manipulated, and harmed others. Mr. Howard is entitled to justice under the same laws that provided justice to Mrs. Ventura. Mr. Combs and Mrs. Ventura should be held accountable for their actions jointly based on Mr. Howard's verified encounters and personal experiences and should not be minimized due to the alleged victimhood of Mrs. Ventura. Based on the factual allegation presented above, Mr. Howard incorporates all facts as his basis for the causes of actions listed below. Mr. Howard seeks the justice of this court to provide that which has been denied by those who seek to conceal the truth in order to protect false information provided by the defendants. That's 33 pages. Of course, I didn't read every page. I just went over some. But, honestly, I actually believe this dude. I just really do. I mean, reading all of this, I didn't even read all of it. But the part that I did read, there's no way this man would be sitting up here making up all the stuff, you guys. I mean, for real. It's just a lot of stuff. Okay, what are y'all saying up here? Let's see. He definitely does, and I would too. All this shit. Yeah, I think he wants that 20 minute between Cassie and Diddy. Right, Jermaine. Oh, I didn't know he's coming for Diddy. He's coming for both. He talked about Diddy. Listen. He said Diddy was guilty. He said Cassie is guilty. Both are guilty. He said the feds allegedly, basically, stopped him from filing anything because they were trying to get Diddy, and they didn't want to get Cassie. That's why she got immunity, you guys. They know that she was guilty. They just trying to get Diddy for, it wasn't a good move. It's a good move on the part of just getting Diddy. If Cassie did illegal shit according to what this dude is saying, and he said he got proof and everything was proven in the trial, she admitted to stuff. She should be held accountable too, but now she has immunity, so she can't be. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't let him be a witness in the trial. You understand what I'm saying? I just read that to you. You wasn't listening. They would not let him be a witness. Okay? They dissuaded him from doing that, but filing anything because he was trying to do criminal charges as well on both, not just one. He said they both did stuff. He did not say Diddy didn't do anything. He actually tells everything that he did. You heard all the times he said he witnessed Diddy beating Cassie's ass, not because she did a bad job, because of other reasons. All right, other reasons. Like for example, she was being disrespectful. She did this, she did that, she didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Damn. I knew it was more to the story. And then the feds allegedly did the stuff that he claims in this lawsuit. They even gave him an attorney, one of their attorneys. Okay, so that attorney is really working for them too. That attorney is the one that dissuaded him from trying to file charges on Cassie because they were going after Diddy. You see what I'm saying? Sure does. That's crazy. Okay. It definitely should be. Yeah, they told him to wait till the case is over, which he did, filed that, because he didn't know when the case was over. Because if he would have went in there and filed criminal charges while this case was going, it would have messed up everything, because then everybody would have saw that Cassie too was engaged in it. Now listen, he didn't say Diddy didn't do anything. He said Diddy did the stuff he said. And the things he said actually lines up to what these other people are saying. Okay, so they both should be facing charges. And then he said he was ex-trafficking. So if they could prove the stuff he was saying, then the kidnapping, because they wouldn't let him go, that's one element, right? What's the other element? They coerced and forced allegedly. They allegedly did that. So that's the other element, right? So there you go. That's the ex-trafficking, right? I don't know what kind of shit is going on, but it seems like a whole bunch of bull crap, for real. They wanted Diddy so bad for what reason that they did not let this man go ahead and file anything. He got human trafficking, sexual assault, and he's suing both of them. He's not just suing Cassie, he's suing both. All right, both. Like I said, y'all need to read this entire, all these damn pages. Y'all need to read this entire, hold on. Take him off. Y'all need to read. Where's my damn camera at? Oh, here it is, right? Y'all need to read. See all these damn pages? That's a lot of stuff, y'all. See that? All of this. I mean, it's going over everything that they did. Everything, you guys. 49 pages, and I just got to, I don't know how many pages I read, but I didn't read the whole thing because this is too much information. Damn, I need to print this out and just read it. Just a lot of stuff. Clayton Howard. Let me see if I can share this and leave it on my what's the name? I don't think you can share it like that. Let's see. You can send a copy. I guess that's the same thing. Let's send it to my WhatsApp. Yeah, I sent it right there, so it's there, so I can keep it. But then that's a damn mess. So what y'all think? Do y'all believe Clayton Howard or what? Because he was trying to file criminal charges. Okay, so don't ever forget that. You know, like I always say, why do they run to silver charges, right? And don't do the criminal charges? Well, he was actually trying to do the criminal charges, and he said he was so basically encouraged not to. And remember, we were asking about all these other victims and witnesses, and we kept on wondering why they weren't put up on the stand. Now we kind of figure out why, because some of these people probably was going to include Cassie in this. Definitely he did. He says she isn't innocent. She's one of the main people that were doing stuff, you know, hiring him, getting him, and things like that. And that in the impregnated thing, that's crazy. If that's true, that's crazy. That is crazy. And what is the real reason the feds are going after Diddy like they are, but feel like they shouldn't really go after Cassie? What is the real reason? Just like we was talking about the Mann Act, and Jermaine says something about the statute of limitation. Okay, so if the statute of limitation underneath the Mann Act is only 5 years, oh, but he did explain how and why they were able to use it, because he said when Diddy did the lawsuit, accepted, you know, the offer to pay her $20 million, that started the last day of activity over. So that was the way they was able to use the Mann Act on him. He shouldn't even settle. He really shouldn't have. That was probably all in the plan. Honestly, when you think about it, that's crazy. So what y'all think about that? What do you think about that? What do y'all think about that? Let me get on off of this right here. But yeah, I'm going to be staying right on top of all of this, guys, with Clayton Howard, because I want to see how this is going to play out. Like I said, we already know that Diddy didn't get charged with the RICO. All right, but I want to see how this civil lawsuit is going to play out, because Cassie talked about a lot of stuff in the trial concerning Dave, aka Clayton Howard. And so that confirms, you know, what he's talking about in the first place, you know. And he brought up a lot of stuff that we already knew about, the baby oil, who applied it, the Astroglide, you know, all that stuff, the oral stuff, you know. How can somebody do that so long? That's disgusting. And how he did stuff with her, then Diddy was trying to do it right afterwards. That's disgusting, y'all. Damn. You say you think he's lying and embellishing on some things, like what? What do you think he's lying about, Jermaine? Because I don't know for sure if he's lying about anything or what he's telling the truth about. But if the things that he is telling the truth, he has proof on, I mean, you know, that's cool, you know. I don't know about the baby, you know, we don't know about that. The only way I can honestly believe that 100% if he shows proof of that. All right, he needs to show proof of her being pregnant, some type of text messaging or conversation, because, you know, if you don't have any proof of that, it's just hearsay. Okay, that's irrelevant anyway, because the baby thing is just what it is, you know. But it could be true, I don't know. But the STD, you know, all that, if the dates scores, if it goes with the dates when he had activity with her and all of that, he got receipts and shit like that, then that can be proven. He said he does have receipts. He showed it to the feds. They seen it. And he clearly showed it in the silver suit thing because they're talking about it. So he has receipts and things like that. He has communication or something. He has that too. He has some other stuff, flight logs, the flight tickets, you know, the receipts from that. He has all of that. Okay. I don't know if he has any proof about the baby thing though. And he could be embellishing that. I don't know for sure. You know, because we just don't know these people. None of them. So we don't know. But I definitely believe him when he's saying that Cassie also was doing things and she also was dominant. Well, he didn't say she was dominant. He said that Combs, no, what did he say? He said Combs was directing and he was the one in charge, but also Cassie was in charge as in regards to being in charge of Clayton Howard and stuff. And I guess that Clayton was her favorite. And I guess Diddy's too, but even though he said he didn't do anything with Diddy extra or anything, Diddy just watched and did the M thing. This is so crazy. I don't think everything is lies, man. You think everything is lies. Okay, everything is not lies, okay? Okay, so let me see what else. I think that's it, that all I have right now. I didn't talk about this so damn long. I think that's it though with him. Okay, so that's crazy though. But like I said, I'm gonna keep you guys, abreast of this situation. Like always, let y'all know. Cause damn, this is a trip, man. This is explosive, okay? It really is. Okay, let me get from him real quick. And let me just tell y'all, Fat Joe's accuser claims he has a secret recording, okay, of Fat Joe. And if that's damn true, man, these people in these damn extra assault things and all this other shit is a hot ass mess, okay? What the hell? If you know what? If I got some millions of dollars, right, and was able to do a job that I really truly like or enjoy, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I don't think I would. I know I wouldn't be out here doing no weird shit, okay? I know that I would not be out here doing no weird shit. What the heck is wrong with these people? Hold on, let me get this. Let me change this real quick. Okay, so Fat Joe, all right. Terrence T.A. Dixon, the former hype man for Fat Joe, told a federal judge he has 4 audio recordings that support his explosive $20 million lawsuit against the Bronx rapper. All right. So he got 4 audio recordings. If he's telling the truth, guys, this could be damn explosive. Okay. Very explosive for Fat Joe. Okay. Dixon's legal team said the recordings are key to proving his claims of actual misconduct, coercion, and criminal activity involving underage girls. Wow. Now, according to the filing, 2 of the recordings are from women who were minors during their alleged contact with Fat Joe. All right. A third features a relative of one of the women. The 4th comes from a former member of Fat Joe's terror squad who allegedly confirms the rapper flew one of the girls to Miami for illegal purposes. Now, if the court would like to review these recordings or prefers as in-camera meeting with the 2 women, we are prepared to facilitate that process. Both individuals have expressed their willingness and eagerness to meet with Your Honor and provide further details about their experiences with Fat Joe, attorney Tyrone A. Blackburn wrote in the letter. They all get him. Dixon's legal team argues the recordings directly support his statements and disprove any suggestion he acted with malice. They say the lawsuit Fat Joe filed against Dixon earlier this year is, in retaliation and designed to silence him. The former hype man filed his own lawsuit in June 2025, accusing Fat Joe of orchestrating a long-running criminal enterprise that involved sex trafficking, intimidation, and financial fraud. Dixon claims he was forced into thousands of acts in front of Fat Joe and his entourage, often under threats of psychological pressure. He also alleges he was denied songwriting credits and royalties for his work on several of Fat Joe's commercially released tracks. The suit further accuses Fat Joe and his associates of violating the RICO Act, alleging they used violence and threats to maintain control. Dixon also says Fat Joe defrauded tax authorities and subjected him to unjust audits by misreporting income and hiding royalty payments. Of course, Fat Joe denied all of these allegations, like always, okay? He said, if you get fired for doing something wrong, just take the L and live with it. But instead, they plot on your downfall as they watch you move on with your life. They decide to go after one of the things you value the most, your reputation. They figure they can make up the most insane stories, and if they threaten you with a lawsuit, then you'll pay and they will feel like they finally won. Problem with your theory, I never let anyone on the streets extort me. So how would I ever let a crooked attorney and a coward ex-hype man extort me? I'm from the Bronx. That's what Facts Joe said. Now, Mr. Tyrone Blackburn, attorney at law, since you want the clout, we will finish you in court. The time of lawyers using their law license as a badge to extort people and destroy families with no evidence is over. I'm not the one. You have messed with the wrong one this time. All right. Now, as we know, Jay-Z's Rock Nation is also named in the lawsuit, accusing of helping to conceal Dixon's authorship rights and pressuring him to drop his claims. Fat Joe's attorney, Joe Tacopina, has denied all allegations, calling them retaliatory lies and extraordinate demands. Extraordinate. I don't even know if I said that right. I don't know. I don't even know how you say it, y'all. It's extortionate demands. All right. I said it right the first time, then it up the next time. The court is currently reviewing the letter and has not yet ruled on whether the recordings will be admitted as evidence. All right. So we don't know if they're gonna let him use that as evidence, but they might. All right, depending on what's on the recordings. Okay, point blank. Damn. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. Somebody said, funny how all these assault cases have come about in abundance since you no longer have to report an assault and have a criminal case before just suing in civil court for millions. Some may be true, but they ain't all true. And I have to agree with that. All of them are not true. True. Somebody say you need video, not tapes. They're going to watch anything they have, okay? If they have tapes or whatever they have, if it has proof on it, they're going to watch it. They may have just used tape, then probably need video. Somebody said they think he is bluffing to get a settlement. Don't play with him, Joey. You see what happened when Diddy settled. The floodgates will open with multiple accusers filing lawsuit. Somebody says, so y'all just think these people in the industry are just perfect and capable of being slimy and everyone is lying. Joe robbed a person he referred to as his brother, and that was proven in court. If he can rob his brother, no one is exempt. All right. Somebody said, you are right. People are busy idolizing these rappers. They don't really know these people. They need to wake up. And I agree, because you just don't know what these people may do, what they don't do, what they do. We just don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know these people. Somebody said everyone is getting Diddy. The thing about it is this right here. If they have proof, it is what it is. Okay. I believe in that proof. If you don't have proof, then it is what it is. All right. Point blank. So, damn, man, you got ripped apart by a bear. Shit. All right. Anyway, like I just said, if they have proof, then there you go. But if they don't have proof, then they don't get shit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. In fact, Joe didn't do anything. You don't have anything to worry about. Okay, because then that means that the guy doesn't have proof and he's lying. But if the dude has proof, if Fat Joe knows he did something, then he has a lot to be worried about, especially if they decide to do any type of criminal charges. And I will stay on top of this as well to let you guys know, what's going on with his stuff as well. Okay, so now let's move on to the next person. No, we can't stay on one person too long. We already stayed on Diddy stuff for the longest. Yeah, I hope it's not true. And he definitely will be. Damn, underage with kids. Come on now. I hope it's not true. I really hope it's not true. Chris Combo said government wanted you guys to believe that Diddy was a one-man criminal organization. All right. A one-man criminal organization. Hold on, let me see what else he said. He said the government wanted you to believe that Diddy was like John Gotti, that he was a one-man criminal organization. Based on the verdict, he asked, that's a notion the jury rejected. Como questions whether this case will be a turning point on lawfare and concludes that a crime should mean something serious and should be proven. And he is so true. All right, prove it for real, not by hearsay, but actually proven by proof. All right, and when somebody trying to include someone else in the criminal charges, they should not be trying to give them immunity so they won't be able to be charges to be pressed on them just so they can get the other person. I think both people should be brought up. Point blank, it's not fair, it's not right at all. It's not right if that's true. All right, so let's see. Let me tell y'all this crazy news right here about this. I don't know if I told y'all about this. Did I tell y'all about this? About the 18-year-old guy who passes on after doing a backflip to celebrate his new apartment with his girlfriend. Did I tell y'all about that? I think I did yesterday. Okay, so y'all be careful when y'all be doing all these little backflips and shit and all this other stuff because you're so happy. Because this young man right here lost his life. He ended up hitting his head. Okay, and when he hit his head, instead of him going to the hospital, he went to sleep. And when he woke up, he started to feel ill or something. And he went to the restroom to vomit. And then I think he passed out after that. And they called the ambulance, took him to the hospital. I think he had a brain bleed and some other stuff going on. He ended up passing on. So anytime you hit your head, okay, go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. This kid was only 18 years old. He was happy about getting a new apartment with his girlfriend in a very nice area. All right. So that's a sad situation. My condolences and prayers are expressed out to his parents, friends, and family as a whole. And may he rest in peace. All right. That's a sad situation. 18 years old. Sorry, guys. And let's see what else we got here. Okay, now we got the story of T.I. Let me go ahead and give y'all that real quick, and then we are going to be finished. And I'll be giving you little tripped out stories in between, me talking about T.I. because we already been on here for 2 hours and 33 minutes. It's 1:58, so I got to hurry up now. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and change this. What's up, DJ Q? What's going on? Good morning to you. Happy 4th of July. All right, so let me go over here and change this banner to T.I. ass. All right. We done talked about a lot of stuff, guys, tonight. That damn Clayton Howard story is a hot ass mess. Also, Fat Joe is definitely a hot mess too. And Cassie is a hot ass mess. You know what I'm saying? Damn. Okay, let me go ahead and change this one right here. You only can put so many banners up at one time. Okay, let's take this one out. So this is T.I. Okay, T.I., Tiny, and King, right? King, what's his last name? King. Let me just do this. I always do this when it's a trip. All right. So anyway, let me go ahead and get that story for you guys. Okay, let me get it because I have to go to my messages now. Why am I over here? Not over here. Hold on. I gotta go to messages, y'all. I'm on the wrong thing. I'm on my damn email. Okay. No. Let me go to this. I did answer the question about the Mann Act too. Okay. I told y'all that the statute of limitation on the Mann Act is 5 years. And then I told you how Diddy was possibly charged with the Mann Act since the statute of limitation was over. When he accepted the lawsuit, we believe that's when the date of last activity started from there, and that provided them with the opportunity to be able to charge Diddy under the Mann Act. Okay. Thank you, Jermaine King Harris. I thought so. So now you got clarification on that. So now you know. You heard it over here on Shades Tube. Okay, the place where the Mann Act was originally brought up by Jermaine. Thank you, Jermaine. And then everybody else started talking about it. You know what I'm saying? They come and watch me in the bushes, right? And then they go back to their channels and talk about the same thing. And YouTube shows their videos more. It's crazy how YouTube algorithm is. It's crazy. It's very crazy. They show a lot of bullshit too. They don't show, real content and things like that. They show a lot of bullshit. And I mean that on everything. Goodness. So anyway, T.I. So T.I., Tiny, and King Harris is named in trafficking allegations. Can y'all believe that? Oh my God, let's do this. Let's see. So T.I. and Tiny Harris are once again under scrutiny following renewed accusations from longtime critic Sabrina Peterson. This week, Peterson took to Instagram talking about fresh claims against the couple and their son, King Harris. And y'all know that Tiny, that Cartini shit. Oh, I said Peterson. Tiny defended Diddy after not guilty verdict on ex-trafficking and racketeering charges. She said people want to charge you so bad for being freaky. Okay, so that's what she wrote, typed, and then she deleted it. But of course, they had it here. Anyway, the allegations center on ex-trafficking, coercion, and exploitation. It surfaced after Tiny publicly reacted to the Diddy verdict with people want to charge you so bad for being freaky is nasty work. And then Peterson reposted Tiny's comment, warning, lying on me was the beginning of your end. Again, she said, lying on me was the beginning of your end. Now, Peterson escalated, alleging the couple engaged in trafficking in forced DRUG She claimed to have ex-trafficking receipts that she plans to release on her birthday, July the 19th. And you know your girl is going to be here with Jermaine getting those receipts so I can tell you guys what they say. Now, in her post, Peterson accused the Harrises of taunting survivors while asserting the feds already have this. I think the fans need it. What? She also shared alleged Texas changes between King Harris and a young woman described as trafficking. Peterson claimed the girl's family contacted her legal team, fearing their child was caught in the network led by T.I. and his family. She further accused T.I. of degrading Tiny. Allegedly, he forced her into the humiliating act to secure marriage. And what is that? These accusations echoed Peterson's 2021 claims, which began with her allegation that T.I. threatened her with a GUN. That sparked broader claims from over 15 alleged victims of DRUGGING in assault. T.I. and Tiny have repeatedly denied all accusations, calling them malicious fabrications. So a defamation suit Peterson filed against the couple was largely dismissed in March, with the court ordering her to pay nearly $97,000 in legal fees. Los Angeles authorities reviewed the case in 2021, but declined prosecution due to the statute of limitations. T.I. is pursuing a countersuit accusing Peterson of spreading damaging lies after their friendship collapsed. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? Now let's see what else we got on this. So let's see here. So she also wrote in here, I don't know if this is from her or somebody else. Somebody said, don't worry, you are next. It's the trafficking, coercion, the PRSTITUTION, and you can't give consent while forcing your victims to take DRUGS. Okay? So then in a string of Instagram stories and posts, Peterson accused the couple of taunting their alleged victims and claims she's sitting on a vault of ex-trafficking receipts. And I just said she's going to release those on her birthday, July the 19th. She said, I have protected your children. I have protected my attorneys. I have protected victims, but truth is on my birthday. It's about me, July the 19th. The feds already have the feds already have this. I think the fans need it. So the feds have this, now the fans need it. She also shared a text message exchange alleging between King Harris and a girl she described as trafficked, claiming the girl's family reached out to her legal team over concerns their child was in a web of DRUG and PRSTITUTION led by T.I. and his family. Let me see what these messages. So let me see if I can screenshot this and read these messages. It's so damn tiny. Hold on. And then we're going to go to TikTok, see what they got. Oh, she said that T.I. made Tiny eat every box in Atlanta to get a ring. Damn. She also said some of the stuff she's sharing cannot be shared on Instagram due to nudity. She also said, this is your king. This is your activist. This is your icon. And this is someone's misguided daughter. She said, I have to give the other message and blog I can't post due to nudity. She, in her 2021 claim, she said that the couple, DRUGGED, and actually assaulted multiple women. And then she shared messages from more than 15 alleged victims. She waited too long. The statute of limitations, they just stop waiting so long to do stuff. That's why they don't get their stuff looked into, because they wait too long. The statute of limitations, that's crazy. Hold on, let me close this out. What else was I was going to look up? I said I was going to go to, no, I'm going to read. Let me see if I can read these text messages. Hold on. And then I'm going to go to TikTok. Let me see if I can read this, because what I did is screenshot it. So let's see. Let's see this. Okay, this is not the other one. She didn't put that up there. I guess she's going to release that on the 19th. So that's a different text message. Basically what I just read. Okay, so on the 19th of July is when she claims she's going to release those text messages that shows that they engage in all these things she's talking about. What did you see up here? Let's see. You said, I don't know about this one, but she says she has receipts. So that's different than the other cases. So it wasn't dismissed for lack of merit. It was past the statute of limitations. Very interesting. Right. So that's what I'm saying. People got to go and tell when things happen. And if they choose to wait, they need to go find out what the statutes of limitations are. So therefore they can report the crime before it runs out. If you know you had a crime done to you, you would think that people would automatically think out loud to themselves or somewhere that I need to check what the statute of limitations is so I can go in there before it runs out. Okay? So, okay, let me see if I find anything on TikTok about this. Let's go off of him and go to T.I. and Tiny. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Let me do this real quick. And King Harris, the son. Let me put his name up there too. Let me change it. Let's see what they said on here. These are all old. I need to find. Yeah, this is it right here. Let me go to this one instead. Okay, let me go over here and do the share screen and everything so y'all can see this. Let me first cut this music. Okay, let's do this. Present, share screen, T.I., right? And then this. Let's look at this real quick, y'all, together.
Longtime accusers. T.I. and Tiny better lawyer up. They are being accused of trafficking women and passing them off to their son King by their longtime accuser Sabrina Peterson. Sabrina got upset and claimed that Tiny ate every box in Atlanta to get a ring from T.I. after she saw Tiny seemingly celebrating the Diddy verdict. Best friend of Diddy's deceased baby mother, Kim Porter, took to her Instagram to celebrate the outcome of Diddy's trial. And in response to that, Tiny said, "Yeah, people want to charge you so bad for being freaky. It's nasty words." Sabrina was not feeling this. Commented on the post saying, "Don't worry, you're next. It's the trafficking, coercion, restitution, and you can't give consent while you're forcing the victim to take DRUGS." In addition to that, she posted a slew of Instagram story posts saying, "Don't make me drop the trafficking receipts, you piece of work." I want to say the girl's family contacted my attorney because their child is in a web of DRUGS institution led by the Harris family. Went on to say, "I have been quiet too long. You have been quiet, you loose woman." This one is for T.I. She said, "You made your wife eat every box in Atlanta to get a ring," and she actually added him. These got sticky when she accused them of passing off girls to their sons. She says the next message is between the trafficked girl and King. Went on to post a text message correspondent between King and the alleged girl, but it just seems like regular text messages. They just asking each other what they're doing and what they've been up to. So I don't really understand what she was getting at with this text. She really thought she ate with that because she said, "This is your king, this is your activist, this is your icon, and this is someone's misguided daughter." Sabrina is literally doing the most. She already lost a lawsuit against T.I. and Tiny and has been ordered to pay them a substantial amount after a judge ruled in their favor regarding her previous allegation. She is not letting losing her last case deter her from pursuing a new case. She claims that she is trying to take this all the way to federal court. I'm curious to know what you guys think regarding this. I want to know if y'all think these rumors are true. Let me know down in the comments. I always knew that T.I. and Tiny was into some crazy stuff, but I never thought it would have been something like this. And to bring the kid into it is a whole nother level of disrespect. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Peace. T.I. and Tiny better.
Trying to say that Harris is trafficking some girls or a girl. Okay. So she lost the other case because of part of it was believable, part of it was what wasn't, or something like that. And then the statutes of limitation ran out for her trying to file criminal charges, right? Somebody said, "Here we go again. Another person willing to do anything to hang with celebs now want to play victim because they have nothing to show for years of selling themselves." And then somebody else said that they believe it, you know.
I called him one day. I was like, "What you doing? Man, I'm on another line canceling the shows."
Don't turn this out. I don't want to see that shit. But anyway, I don't know. Like I said before, again, you have to show proof in order for me to believe it, or at least make it sound very convincing. I don't know, because we don't know these people, you guys. Let's keep it real. I don't know what T.I. them do or they don't do. All I can say is on the 19th of July, I definitely will be looking out so I can read these text messages, okay? Or what other proof she has. And then we can go from there. Because the one that she just showed with King and the girl talking, from what I can read real quickly, I don't know. It doesn't look like much either to me. But then again, it could be. I don't know. You know, she was their friend or whatever the case is. She might have seen things that we definitely don't know about. So I don't know. We just need to wait till July the 9th to see if she has real, proof. All right, real proof. So what you think, Jermaine? Do you believe her? Okay, let's see. So July the 19th, we will find out. Okay, you say you don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. I want to see what she has that she's going to reveal to everybody. She said she got information that proves that they do ex trafficking and all this other stuff. Okay, so let's just see what she has to prove her allegations, and then we can go from there. Just like with Fat Joe's situation, I think the Fat Joe, the recordings. Okay, let's see if the judge will allow those recordings to be used, and then maybe if they do allow those recordings to be used, then maybe we will hear these recordings, or at least we can read what it says to see if it indicates that Fat Joe did anything illegal, especially with underage kids and things like that. Okay, and as far as Howard, I definitely believe him. I'll be perfectly honest. I believe the majority of the story. Okay, I don't know about the baby thing, but I believe all the other stuff that he said. And I will be following that story for sure, because I want to see how that plays out in court, because I already know he has some proof, because of, the stuff that was said in Diddy's trial and things like that by Cassie herself. All right. You're right. She claims to have proof. So we are definitely going to see that on the 19th. Which is next Saturday after. Okay, what is this week? The day is the 5th. Yeah, so next Saturday after. We got 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, let me circle this so I can remember. Let's circle this right now. We're gonna put T.I. proof. All right, because I'm gonna do a whole live on that if she shows that. Okay, period. And we will, I will be staying on top of that story as well. Now we got another one is Jared Leto or Leto. I can't remember how you say his last name. I think it's Leto. Anyway, he is in a band, you guys. He's going on with his band 30 Seconds to Mars Summer Rural Tour. Okay. Even though he's been charged with actual misconduct allegations, okay? He hasn't been charged, but he has actual misconduct allegations against him. All right, let's see here. Hold on, let me see what's going on with him. Let me just put his name up so we can know who we're talking about real quick, okay? Let's take T.I. them off of here real quick. And let's put Jared Leto up in here. I think that's how you spell his name. Let's put allegations. And hopefully I spelled it right. All right. So anyway, the report included allegations from an unnamed woman who claimed that Jared approached her at a Los Angeles cafe to ask for her phone number when she was 16 years old. She recalled their alleged phone conversation saying, I don't know if he was on DRUGS or what, It was the weirdest, grossest voice. But for me, it's Jared, you know. Anyway, Jared's spokesperson denied that he had a drink or use drugs in over 35 years. Now, another woman accused him of hounding her after she turned down a request to attend a party at his home in Laurel Canyon. She said he called always at 1, 2, or 3 a.m. The conversation turned sexual. He would ask things like, have you ever had a boyfriend? Have you ever sucked a dick? He changed his voice, the way he talked. It scared me. That was the first time I thought, oh my God, that's not just the movies. Then model Lori LaRue also accused Leto of flirting with her when she was 16 years old and he was 36. She said at age 17, she witnessed Leto allegedly walking into a room completely naked. He just walked out, dick out, like it was normal. I thought maybe this was just what grown men do. Anyway, his representatives claimed that LaRue later applied to work as the actor's personal assistant, which they say highlights the absence of anything inappropriate in any of their interactions. Anyway, LaRue denies seeking work with the actor. Now, other women accused Jared of asking them to spit on his area while masturbating in front of them and inviting underage young girls to parties at his home. Okay. Now, in response to all of these accusations, Jared representatives stressed that all of the allegations are expressly denied. So, I mean, it's a lot of little allegations, okay? So, I mean, I don't know if these are true. Once again, I mean, anything could be possible. I just don't know, you guys. These people got allegations going all over the place. You know, these damn actors, these singers. You know, it's just plain and ridiculous. The thing that I'm tripping out about is that when you get blessed with a career that you want to do, with the money you never thought you could probably get, how can these people still be doing weird shit or start doing weird shit? It's plainly crazy. It is very strange to me. You would think that these people would not be doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy how they can just still do dumb shit even though they get successes and riches. And this is what the dude looked like. I know some of y'all know who this is, okay? Let me show y'all. Oh, I gotta turn this off first. This is him right here. Okay. This is great. He's 53 years old. He's an actor and a musician, okay? He was in the Fight Club too, okay? So y'all can know that Dallas Buyers Club, all types of stuff. Let me see what else they got on him before we get ready to get out. I gotta tell y'all 2 new stories and that'll be it. It was 9 women altogether who accused him of sexual impropriety. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Flirting with teenagers, predatory, terrifying, and unacceptable, behavior and stuff. Yep, he holding up the, what signs right here looking a hot ass mess. Let me show y'all. With the cross on him and everything. So this is the other side of him. Now you can definitely believe some things about him now. That's the other side of him right here, okay? Just so y'all can see that. See, I tell you never know these people, okay? Flirting with teenagers. Let's see. Yeah, he just, gosh, a lot of people. 16, he allegedly talking to this woman when she was this girl at the time. She was a girl at the time, 16 years old. He was 36. Come on now. So I don't know if these are true. Like I said, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Listen to this. Another woman who spoke to the outlet said that she and Jared began a texting relationship while she was still underage. According to her, Jared would ask her inappropriate questions during her visit to his house, such as, do any of the little boys you hang out with F you? The woman added that once when she was 18, he pulled out his you know what and started, doing the M thing. She told the outlet. Then he walked over, grabbed her hand, and put it on him. He leaned in and said, I want you to spit on it. Okay. Another woman, a Los Angeles-based DJ and music producer, last month on Instagram, reposted a 2012 Facebook status in which she had said, you're sick, not really in LA until Jared tries to force himself on you backstage in a kilt, in a snow hat. Okay. And then Talise said, I was assaulted and traumatized by this creep when I was 17. He knew my age and didn't care. What he did was predatory, terrifying, and unacceptable. And of course, Jared himself has yet to comment on the allegations. But of course, his representative said just what I told you guys before. It's false, fake. All right. And just in case you guys need this, in the U.S., you can call or text Child Help Abuse Hotline on 800-422-4453. Excuse me. Again, it's 800-422-4453. It's the Child Help Abuse Hotline. Or you can visit their website for more resources and to report child abuse or DM for help. And then for grown-ups, who are survivors of child abuse, you can do A as in Apple, S as in Sam, C as in California, A as in Apple, support.org. And I'll just put that up there for you real quick, okay? This is for grown-ups who were victims of child abuse. You can do it at this right here, it's ASCH support.org. I think I wrote that correctly. Let me make sure. That right there. Or you can call this number right here. 1-800, what's the number? 422-4453. That's the number to Child Help Abuse Hotline. Let me see, Child Help Abuse Hotline. That's that number right there, okay? And if you are in the UK, you can call, let's see. In the UK, let me put this in here, because I do have people watching me from over there too. You can call 0800-1111. Or you can do, hold on, let me put this up there. In UK, or you can do, if you are a grown-up concerned about a child, you can call this number right here, 080-808, and then 800, that's 5000. All right, the UK. And the National Association for People Abused in Childhood is N as in Nancy, A as in Apple, P as in Paul, A as in Apple, and then C. It's NAPAC, okay? And then they have another number in the UK that you can call for grown-ups who need support. It's 0808 801 0331. Again, that number is 0808 801 0331. All right. And then, you know, if whatever country you are in and you're watching me, and if you're experiencing anything like this or you did as a child, just go to your information services there, or type into Google, you know, child abuse survivors, and then you should get information by doing that as well. All right. This is crazy, y'all, man. And I will be staying on top of his situation too, just to see what happens with his stuff as well, Jared. And make sure you remind me, Jermaine. All right. So let me give y'all two breaking news, some fuckery news, and then we are getting ready to get out of here because it's 3 hours. It's 2:31, and it's almost time for me to go to bed. All right. Let's see here. This was a long live tonight, you guys. Let me take Jared off of here. Just take this off and put fuckery news. It's just easier if I type this over again instead of looking for it because it's so damn late. All right. No, not tiny. Let's take that down and put this up here. There you go. All right, so let me see what I got here. So you got a skinhead with Nazi tattoos. He was convicted of a hate crime for threatening a black pregnant woman. All right. Let me show y'all this weirdo right here. See if they'll show a picture of this weirdo. This is him right here looking tripped out, like always. Let's see. That's him. All right. So let's see here. So he's a third strike, self-proclaimed skinhead with a history of violence and committing hate crimes. He was convicted Monday of criminal threats and a hate crime for chasing an 8-month pregnant black woman from a Fulton bus stop and threatening to unalive her unborn child while hurling racist things at the woman. He now faces a maximum sentence of 38 years to life. That's crazy, man. Hold on, let me see what's going on here. Hold on, let me see what they got on here. So he's 45 years old, okay? He tried to appeal this too. They said that he was not forced to be a racist. It's something that he celebrates. It's something that he practices. It was something he was practicing when he rushed up to an 8-month pregnant woman with his swastika and SS lightning bolts tattoos on display and threatened to unalive her unborn baby. That's according to Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer. He said, I hope that no one else ever has to feel the absolute blood-chilling terror this young mother described as she had to run for her life in the life of her baby. Not because of what she did, but because of the color of her skin. I have spent decades fighting for victims, especially victims of hate, and ensuring that justice is served. He said, while Judge Robbins ignored that young woman's pleas for justice, thankfully, the jury did not ignore the facts and convicted Tyson Mayfield of exactly what he did, threatened a pregnant black woman because he is a racist. We will never allow hate to win. Because this dude, listen, he was doing appeals and everything, trying to get out of this, okay? And I guess the original judge was basically, allowing this foolishness. Anyway, he was charged with one felony count of hate criminal of hate crime criminal threats with present ability to commit violent injury, 1 felony count of criminal threats, and 1 misdemeanor count of petty theft, and prior serious and violent felony convictions for assault with a deadly weapon in 2005 and mayhem in 2008 in Orange County. Mayfield pleaded guilty to all charges and was sentenced to the court offer of 5 years in state prison. And then Judge Robbins originally offered a 2-year sentence, but increased the offer to 5 years after District Attorney Spitzer appeared in court in April 2019 to object. District Attorney Spitzer appeared again in May 2019 to reiterate his objection to the court's light offer and the striking of one of the defendant's prior strikes. He is a dangerous person. There is just no question he is a racist. And that's what District Attorney Todd Spencer told the court at the time, noting Mayfield's swastika and SS lightning bolt tattoos. They say he was picking out people on the street because he doesn't like the way they look and using violence against them. Is a 5-year sentence going to protect society against someone so evil? Okay, so let's see. So then members of Christ Our Redeemer Church in Irvine, the NAACP and the OC Human Relations Commissions and the Anti-Defamation League attended court hearings in support of the victim good. And then on September 17, 2018, Mayfield approached a pregnant Black woman. Oh, they tell you what happened. On September the 17th, 2018, Mayfield approached a Black pregnant woman sitting on a bus bench in Fulton and yelled racial slurs at her. And then the defendant clenched his fist and repeatedly threatened to make the victim drop her unborn baby. So Jane Doe feared for her safety, and then she pepper sprayed Mayfield. And then the defendant, this damn ad. This damn ad. Let me go right. Then the defendant stole the victim's backpack and walked away. Let's see what else they got here. And then she contacted the Fulton Police Department, who investigated the case, but were not initially able to locate Mayfield. The victim returned to the bus bench, and Mayfield approached her again, threatening to harm her, and he used racial slurs. And then he chased Jane Doe into a nearby cafe where she remained until the Fulton County Police Department located and arrested Mayfield. And then in her victim's impact statement, which was presented to the court, she expressed her desire for a longer sentence. She said she fears for her safety and her children's safety if Mayfield has access to them or access to find them and make good on his threats. So she said, this situation has worsened my PTSD. Then it physically affected me. When Tyson was walking toward me, telling me, I'm going to make sure you drop your baby. It's a promise, making sure you have this baby. I don't like pregnant, like you. I have a field day of doing that. I felt very scared when he made these threats toward me. What came to my mind was that he wanted to physically hurt me and my unborn child and do whatever he could for me to have this baby. I literally had to run for my life when I was 8 months pregnant. I was protecting myself and my unborn child. I feel like he should be in prison for much longer. 5 years is not enough. And then on September the 14th, 2017, Mayfield approached John Doe in a commercial parking lot in Fulton. The defendant became agitated because the victim did not have a lighter he could borrow. Mayfield called John Doe, who is Filipino and Turkish, a racial slur and punched the victim multiple times. A nearby witness called 911 to report the incident, and he was arrested. He was also convicted on October the 19th, 2017, of one misdemeanor count of hate crime assault causing injury. As part of his court-offered plea, the charge was reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor, and prior strike conviction enhancement were dismissed. Mayfield was sentenced to 1 year in county jail at the time of the crime, and then Mayfield was on parole. That's crazy. He was also sentenced to 9 years in state prison for a 2005 mayhem conviction. He made a racist comment toward a woman and her boyfriend getting gas after they declined to give him change. And then he punched the man in his face repeatedly, causing a gash in his mouth that required 8 stitches. Anyway, Mayfield is scheduled to be sentenced on his most recent conviction on August the 29th, 2025. And I don't know how many years they're trying to get for him. Let's see if they go back, because they done went all over the place with this article. So he's been sentenced, I guess, for the September 17, 2018 thing that he did to the pregnant black woman when she was sitting on the bus bench. Let me go to the beginning of this, because this is crazy. This article, let's see. Oh, it goes all the way back. Hold on, let me see. So the mandatory sentence is 25 years to life, all right? And that's required by California 3 strike laws. So he was facing 38 years to life in state prison, all right? But him going to in front of the judge, and the judge reducing shit and they making plea deals, it, took his sentence all the way down. So this new prosecutor, I guess, is the one that is making sure that this dude spends more time in prison, all right, point blank, which he should have been in the first place, if I got that correct, all right? And that's some straight up effery. I'm just looking on here and see what they said in this comment section. Okay, they're just saying stupid ass comments here. But anyway, I'm glad he is incarcerated. And hopefully he gets those, what did I say? 38 years. Hopefully he gets that. Because, he really does not need to be out on the street. He's running up to people, chasing pregnant women and punching people and threatening people and just calling people racial names. Just doing a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? He really just does not need to be out here on the streets, period. Okay? He just does not need to be out on the street. And it's a shame that they made a plea deal with this dude and took his damn felony down to a misdemeanor. It's just plainly crazy, guys. So the last story for the night is a smiling man's chilling final selfie moments before he's ripped apart by a daggone bear. So this is his selfie right here, okay? Let me show you. That's a damn shame. The bears are right behind him. Damn. These people know they be taking chances. That's the bear right there, probably. Okay, let's see here. So he posed with this bear cub, okay, on Thursday. So he was riding his motorbike, all right, in this mountain area, all right, when a bear attacked him and dragged his body down a ravine, okay, He just had posted a series of Facebook pictures showing a large bear that stood close to him. He also shared a selfie with the bear cub where he pointed at it while smiling into the camera. So this right here must be the mother bear right here. That is stupid as hell. So when he's taking a picture, like basically by the baby bear, the mama bear sitting here watching, okay, thinking he's trying to do something to the baby bear. And that's why she attacked him. So he rode his motorcycle past the bear, who was sitting on the side of the road. He said, "Here's the bear. How beautiful. It's coming right towards me." That's stupid as hell. All right? That is stupid as hell. Just straight up fuckery, you guys. Damn. Who does this? Here's the bear. How beautiful. It's coming towards me. And the bear came right toward him and mauled him, dragged him off the motorcycle, and then mauled him to you know what. Of course, they had to put the bear to sleep after that, okay, period. Which is kind of unfair, but you know, it is what it is. And this, I know this ain't the damn bear right here. This is a bear standing up, but this is to show you how tall they are. How beautiful. They are cute, all right? But the thing is that when you're around areas where you know these things are out there, right? And you know they run pretty fast. They can tear your ass up with those claws. Why would you be trying to take a picture with them? He could have went to the damn zoo, all right, and took a picture, okay, with the bear. Not actually with the bear, but you know, the bear in the cage, and you take a picture, you be like way up in front. That's crazy. What the hell? Listen to this. A teenager was also unalive after a bear dragged her, and then he dropped her 330 feet down a cliff. Okay. Her boyfriend, because she was hiking with a boyfriend, he just stood in horror as the 19-year-old girl who was hiking with him was attacked by the bear. That is crazy. This is in a different country too, okay? But that is crazy, man. The bear grabbed her and dropped her down a cliff. 330 feet. Damn. 19 years old. And her boyfriend couldn't do nothing but look. But this man here taking a picture, a selfie, with the baby bear in the back. He's pointing to the baby bear. The mama bear is sitting on the curve on the side of the road watching. She probably thought he was trying to do something to the daggone baby bear. And then the mama bear drugged him off that damn motorcycle down to a ravine and mauled him to unaliving. That's crazy. 49 years old. And they had to search for this dude for at least an hour or maybe hours, and they found him in a ravine. That's crazy. I'm telling you. People got to start thinking. I'm telling you, can't be messing with these bears and mountain lions and shit and other animals. Because anytime you get around these animals, babies and stuff, or even close to them, they just be going berserk because they think you're trying to, hurt them. What's up, young Reds? Thank you so much for tuning in. Good morning to you. Trying to show off, trying to get them likes and shit. They'll do anything for likes and shit. Then this dummy said, "Here's the bear. How beautiful. It's coming towards me." I would have got on my bike and been trying to damn get out of there. Okay, for real, for real. So the thing is, he was talking about it's coming toward me. He's sitting there while it's coming toward him. And then the damn bear probably just grabbed him and pulled him off the bike. Because I was trying to figure out if he was riding the bike, right, and it was going fast, how would the bear catch up with him? Because the bike goes pretty quick too. Somebody said people are crazy. If normal people wouldn't take a photo of a human child that they don't know, why would someone do that with a cub of a wild bear? That's stupid. Somebody said, why put the bear down? He did what he's supposed to do. Somebody else said, because bears that are bold enough to attack a human are likely to repeat it, endangering others. Same for wild lions and tigers and people. No, stop. That's crazy. Somebody said, W people entitlement never end. Y'all always got to learn the hard way. It ain't just white people. It's black people too, honey. A lot of different people do silly stuff of all different race. It is a shame that the bear had to be put down, but it is what it is. When they do that, attack people, they put them down because they may attack somebody else. So they still questioning Meek Mill, okay, about his stuff with Diddy. Meek Mill said my morals as a man has never been questioned. All right, point blank. Y'all leave that man alone. If he wants, I don't know what he did or what he didn't do, but whatever he did or didn't do, it's his business. Leave that dude alone, please. Y'all act like y'all don't know people be bi or gay. All right? Shh. I don't know who this weirdo is. Let's see. Oh, okay. So they talking about KK. She finally came out into the light, I guess, after, Diddy was cleared of racketeering, okay? She was in Los Angeles talking to to her friends, okay? That's her right here. Just so y'all can see. KK was spotted out in LA chatting with her friends. She can come out now since Diddy hasn't been charged with he was found not, he was charged, but he was found not guilty, or he was acquitted, not guilty. And she was smiling. She was going to a Pilates class. Yeah, she knows she can't be charged. Well, I don't know if she can be. Clearly, she wouldn't be charged because she didn't even say anything anyway. So it is what it is. But anyway, this is crazy, man. So y'all stop leaving y'all damn dogs in the cars, okay? Because a dog passed on of heat stroke after riding with owners in the air-conditioned SUV. Clearly, the air wasn't down, enough. Because how would he get a heat stroke if the air is on? They had the air conditioner on and the windows cracked. So let's see. Let's see, how did he get it? Because it was a really hot outside. That's the reason why the dog still suffered from a heat stroke, okay? I don't know what they had the temperature to, though. He was in the back seat of the SUV. I see how, because in the SUV, in the back seat, the air may not be coming all the way back there as cold. Even if it has the air back there, sometimes it doesn't come out, strong enough. So it can be a little hot back there for like a baby or animals, in especially animals, because babies too, because they can't talk. So you wouldn't know if they are hot or whatever the case is. And then plus that dog has long hair and things like that. And they said dogs with long hair or double coats are more susceptible to overheating. See, they said exactly what I said. In larger vehicles, you don't necessarily have fans that are circulating that air enough. Most of the time, those fans are located in the front of the car or vehicle. And even if they are in the back, sometimes it just does not come out evenly. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe you need to turn that air all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Make it super cool, not too cold, but cold. Because like I have to do that in my car when my kids move sometimes, even though the thing is in the back too. I have to turn it even lower and things like that. And then they could also open that window a little bit more too. Damn, that's sad. And the dog couldn't tell them, obviously. That's sad. So just be cautious of that, guys. When you're in like a big car or something, big SUV, you got your dogs with you, and they got long hair, even if they got short hair, just make sure it's cool enough back there for them. All right, because remember that heat, not the heat, but that air back there in the back may not be circulating, enough, or it just may not come out good, or whatever the case is. Just make sure they stay cool back there if you bring them. I don't actually like carrying animals with me, and even if I did, it would probably be in the front, so I don't know. Maybe so, I don't know. But anyway, I just want to say thank you guys so much for listening. We was on here for 3 hours and 31 minutes. I haven't did a live this long and so long, but we had a lot to cover. We went over a lot of stories. Let me see who all we talked about again. I got to go over this real quick and then be done. So we talked about Howard, okay? And like I said, I will keep you guys abreast of that lawsuit against Cassie and Diddy, all right? Where he accuses them of so damn much sexual assault, all types of stuff, trafficking, a bunch of shit. All right, I will keep you guys abreast of that. Then we talked about Leto. I'll keep you guys informed with that. He just has allegations, though, that he was trying to hit on underage girls and things like that, and pulling out his what. So those are allegations, but I will stay on top of that as well. Then of course, Fat Joe. All right. I'll keep you guys abreast of that situation. I think the dude said he has audios of some stuff that indicates that he partakes in the stuff that he's alleging he did. And then we got T.I., his wife Tiny, and his son. They could possibly have a lawsuit spurring up again. I think she is following up, but she says she is going to release some text messages that shows that they engage in trafficking and other stuff, other illegal things. And she's going to expose that on July the 19th, her birthday. So I will be keeping you guys abreast of that. All right. And we just went over a little bit of breaking news. And we talked about Julian, the guy from Nip Tuck, passing on at age 53 or 52, somewhere around that age, from cancer. All right. So guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to say thank you to Jermaine for always being here, staying up late at night, watching my damn lives and being supportive and helping me out with everything. I appreciate you, Jermaine. You are the best mod on here. For real, for real. And then we got Paul Yo, who was here. Thank you so much for being here, showing support. You've been coming for a while now. Thank you so much, Paul Yo. And then we got Kim B, always showing support as well. Been here for a while too. Thank you, Kim, for stopping by, showing support. J4 finally came back again. J4, thank you so much for always coming by, showing support to Shades too. I appreciate you, hon. We got DJ Q stop by, showing support. Thank you, DJ Q. And Young Riz stop by, showing support. Thank you, Young Riz. All right, and thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches this in the replay. I definitely appreciate all of you guys. I won't be back again until Monday with Night Owls talk time. But I will do a country rain reaction video tomorrow. All right, tomorrow afternoon once I get up. Y'all, I'll be saying all types of weird shit at night because I'm getting tired. But anyway, let me go ahead and take this down. Let's take this down. Let's actually hide that and delete that. All right. So anyway, again, happy 4th of July weekend and everything, guys. Y'all have a blessed weekend, and I will see you guys in my next live. All right. Good night, y'all. Peace out. Happy and blessed weekend too. Check out my latest videos too, and my latest YouTube short. Check me out on TikTok at ShadesTube. And I'm probably getting ready to add another account to do lives there too. I'll let y'all know about that when I do it. I'll do it sometime this weekend, okay? And I think that's it. Check out my other videos too as well. All right. Thank you guys so much. And don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. If you want to show additional support to this channel, You can do a super sticker, super chat, or a Cash App donation at $Shades2, or you can copy yourself a membership for $4.99. All right? All right, you guys. Let's see. I'm trying to find my other stuff. There you go, right there. And thank you for checking me out. And I think that's it. Have a good weekend once again, guys. All right, happy 4th. All right, y'all. Peace. Let me take all this other stuff down. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades Tube, press replay. You thought I lacked game, back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with shades. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shades 2, she back again. Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shades 2.